Guys, good morning. Here we go.
Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for
Yes, yes,
single
yes.
people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, YouTube. Make sure you guys
A
subscribe.
Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation, and Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
You discard.
The opinions expressed on the following
my
sponsored program
goodness.
are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. Call the show toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Friday, September 27th, 2019. And of course, this is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week because this is not just our live morning drive edition this Friday morning. We are live in Morning Drive from 6 until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday here in the Eastern Time Zone. And we also have an overnight rebroadcast midnight till 6 a.m. 7 nights a week. And the reason the Friday show is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week, because this is not just our live morning drive edition this Friday morning. This is our overnight rebroadcast for the entire weekend. And just on our 5 Florida radio stations. We are on 2 a.m. and 3 FM stations here in Florida. I'm not including iHeartRadio, TuneIn, our radio station app, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, SteveKaneShow.com, and all the other many places that carry this program with and without our knowledge. Okay? Just on our 5 Florida radio stations, the Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show will air a total of 33 times before we return live to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. Is the YouTube live chat on? I'm not sure I turned it on. So we always want to make sure that the Friday show is the best. And there's so much going on that we're going to jump right into. Also, don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch the show live on YouTube Live. Brian Craig on YouTube. Watch live, people. Alrighty. So, now we're getting some information on this whistleblower. We know it's a man, and we know it's a CIA person. And, what is going on here, the president talked about this yesterday. He's been spied upon. There's a spy in the White House, relayed some information to this CIA guy who put this whistleblower complaint in. And what this is all about, it is a continuation. Notice every day we get a little more information. This whistleblower spy is a continuation of the coup of the presidency of the United States, of Donald Trump's presidency, that began when he became President-elect Donald Trump. Okay, they were trying to overturn the election prior to the election. They were trying to influence the election. They failed. And when Donald Trump became President-elect Donald Trump, it turned in from election meddling to, a coup. And that's what's been going on here. It's a continuation of the coup. The people behind the whistleblower are the same people that were behind everything else from the FISA warrants on down, the Mueller investigation, et cetera. It's the same crew. And I imagine what happened here, because we've been talking about this all week. What happened? How did this happen? Why did Pelosi go along with this? And my best guess right now is that Durham, who is the federal prosecutor appointed by Attorney General Barr, investigating the FISA warrants, is getting closer and closer to indictments, or at least the conspirators are afraid he is, after what happened with McCabe a week or two ago, where they got the okay to prosecute McCabe. So that's why they did this, probably. And yesterday, President Trump was calling this a spy operation, and no doubt about it. And, this whistleblower, the whistleblower should be arrested. I mean, look at what they've done. They made a false whistleblower complaint, which I would imagine making a false complaint like this at this level is the equivalent of making a false report to the police, which is a felony. And look at what they've done. They made a false whistleblower complaint. They have stopped the American government in its tracks. They have impeachment. The impeachment process of the President of the United States has begun. So the people behind this spy operation and the whistleblower complaint have turned things upside down. And thinking that they're hiding behind this whistleblower statute, you just can't go around making false reports and false complaints. People make false police reports all the time and get in big trouble for it. It's the coup. It's a crime. The person should be outed. The person should be arrested, maybe. And I've been talking about this a lot lately because it's becoming more and more obvious to more people. I've been talking about this a long time, but it's becoming obvious to more people. The coup never stopped. The coup of the Trump presidency has been ongoing, and the coup conspirators must be getting nervous. Now, President Trump's going to win re-election by a larger landslide victory than he was going to before, because I think the Trump base and the Trump supporters are rallying around him even more when they see this. But what I've been talking a lot about is, with Donald Trump, is that he is the first president ever, perhaps, who's not part of the political establishment. He may be the first president that hasn't been pushed on the American, and I'm going back to Washington, he may be the first president not pushed on us in the history of the presidency. The parties control the nominating process, and typically they force candidates on us that we don't like John McCain when he was the nominee. Or even Bob Dole. We get these candidates we don't like, they push them forward, and we have no choice but to vote for Mitt Romney in 2012. Okay? That's it. That's it. It's the coup. They cannot stand that the American people chose the President of the United States. And because he is independently wealthy beyond imagination, he really is. He's worth $10 billion. That's crazy money. We can't even visualize $10 billion in our minds, And he made his money. He made his way outside of the world of politics. They have no juice with him. Comey went to President-elect Donald Trump at Trump Tower with the phony John McCain dossier and tried to get him on board and said, hey, this dossier, we can make it go away, or we can investigate it, wink, wink, play ball, it'll go away. And Trump didn't do that. And that's when the coup really began. They tried to control him. They've never had a president they did not control in one way, shape, form, or another before Donald Trump. And it's turned the world upside down. And really what they should do is just wait out 2 terms. As popular as he is, he's only going to be president twice. And then there'll be someone else. So they should wait it out, but they can't. They're very impatient. So this whole operation, part of the coup, should the whistleblower be prosecuted? What do you guys think about this? Is the whistleblower a criminal? Should the whistleblower be outed, investigated, and perhaps charged with crimes? I'd like to know your thoughts on all of this. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Yes, Richie the bus driver, up early today.
Yeah, I wanted to catch you. The whistleblower is the Democratic Party in itself and the media in cahoots to throw this president out of office. This is so obvious now, you can't.
Yeah.
The complaint of the whistleblower, they said it was a coordinated effort done by a professional lawyer, and from what I heard last night on Laura, they said it was a team that did this.
Well, there was a team, yeah, and there was a coordinated effort. There was a coordinated effort to do, this was a plot. This whole whistleblower complaint was a well-organized plot. That's why the Democrats in Congress moved so quickly. But I got to tell you, Richie, it's also the never-Trumpers in the Republican Party establishment like Mitt Romney. We're finding out this morning that a top Mitt Romney guy does work with that Hunter Biden Ukrainian company.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah.
He's. Let me tell you this, okay? I feel, and this is how, and I feel it's going to come out. This country went sour with the Clintons and then Obama. And I'm sorry, Obama's getting a free ride here. No way the Vice President of the United States could get away with what he got away with without the President of the United States knowing about it. And all of them knew about it. And by the way, 7 of the richest counties in the United States, which is probably the world, circle Washington, D.C., and what do they produce? Nothing but crooked politicians.
Yes.
That's what's happening here. I mean, it's obvious as hell that President Trump is taking on what, remember we said he's got to clear the swamp? We didn't know how bad the swamp was. I fear for Giuliani. He was on again last night. He's got so much that he hasn't spilled that he knows, and it's all coming out, and he feels very confident that this is going to be turned upside down on their head. What's happened to the United States is the question I got to ask you.
Nothing's happened, Richie. It's always been like this. Our elections have been a fraud. We've thought we've had free elections, and we haven't. We've not really been a free country. Nothing's changed. It's always been this way. They've lost control, and they're coming out about their true ways and intentions. It's always been this way.
When you have money, okay, money comes, corruption comes with money, and these people are as corrupt as could be, and their families and friends are all getting fat on our tax dollars. It's really sad and disgusting, but I think we're going to be, and the media has really got me crazy because they're in cahoots with them.
That's right.
They're like talking parrots, and they're trying to protect Vice President Biden, who is going down.
Well, when you watch this Schiff hearing yesterday, and I got to tell you, Schiff is the most disgusting man in Washington, and that says a lot. The Republicans on the committee were talking about this. There was a coordination between the media and the Democrats because the Democrats were making new sound bites up there on the, when it was their time for the questioning of that director of national intelligence guy yesterday. And there's a coordinated effort between the Republican and Democrat establishment and the media against this president.
Yeah, it's really, I don't know what's happening in our country. I mean, guys have died in the wars over to fight for this. Come on.
Yeah.
Man, this is like a banana republic.
It's frightening. It really is frightening. And, this guy, Adam Schiff, I don't understand how this guy can just go around and slander people all day, every day of his life.
Real lying moron. Believe me when I tell you this. Mark Levin said it right on the head. Pull some of his phone records and everything. He's coordinated this with the media and everybody.
Yeah. Well, Schiff has zero integrity. I mean, you look at his tone when he comes out there, he has zero remorse, zero integrity. He cares about no one. He is unemotional, and he's always got that smirk on his face. This guy, I've never seen, and I'm telling you, I thought Harry Reid was a creep. I've never seen any politician as scummy as Schiff. He's the lowest bottom feeder I've ever seen.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi.
Oh no, this guy's worse. Nancy Pelosi is the biggest phony of all of them. She came out with that. They're blaming it on AOC and all of them, which this was going on for a while. But Nancy Pelosi had that complaint in her hands the day before when she came out. She felt very confident when they saw that whistleblower's complaint. That's why she came out with what she did. They all knew this before we did. Well, listen, Trump will win in the end. Yeah, that hearing yesterday, I think, was a disaster for the Democrats. I was watching some of the analysis on television, and any analysis that said the Democrats look good was so forced. I mean, I think the general consensus is they look like a bunch of fools yesterday.
But they look good because the media is part of them.
Yeah, well, you can't pay attention to the media. You can't pay attention to the media. They're creeps. You can't. They're. All right, Richie. All right, take care. All right, we'll take our first break of the Friday weekend edition of Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E. Go Kane 1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Should this whistleblower be arrested and charged with a crime? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is Steve Kane with an incredible special for my friends at Brighton Dental. 8 Emax veneers at Brighton Dental, just $49.99. All the other dentists in town charge $10,000 for the exact same veneers. 10 Emax veneers, $59.99 at Brighton Dental. These are the very same veneers that other dentists in town are charging $12,000 for. Get the Hollywood smile you have always dreamed of. Call Brighton Dental at 954-922-4633.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry.
Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe, like, click the notification
so you have
bell.
Nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
For a limited time, go to mypillow.com and Mike will give you 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. And you will also receive free shipping when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879 and give them promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and receive 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. Again, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com or 1-800-716-4879 for this fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic
I don't like to block people,
recipient,
Renee.
you are entitled
I really
to
don't.
one
I do not like blocking people.
Diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. The coup against Trump continues. Let's talk to Ray in Sunrise. Hey, Ray, good morning.
Yeah, Brian, you know, it's always the same old story. They accuse Trump, first of all, what they're guilty of, but aside from that, the Democrats are always united. They always stand together. As Richie pointed out there, this whistleblower is actually a group, and they knew about this a long time ago. And they just wait, and then they do one thing after another to go after him. But my question is this. Where are Trump supporters?
Well, he's raised, what are you talking about? He's raised $13 million in a couple of days. Are you talking about on TV?
Talking about Trump is always fighting these battles alone when it comes to elected officials. Where are Republican congressmen? Where are Republican senators? Who's supporting him? The Democratic Party, all their officials are always there supporting whatever the latest idiotic coup attempt is, right?
Yeah.
We're a leading Republican.
Yeah, I Lindsey Graham's doing pretty good. Lindsey Graham's doing all right. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a whistleblower complain about the whistleblower and the spy that gave the whistleblower the information.
That's my point. But as Richard said, they should have some legal actions against them. My point when I say where are they? Why are we having subpoenas and having investigations of?
Well, what I would like to do, if I could get anything done right now, it would be to have Lindsey Graham have a closed door hearing, because I don't think they could approve it on TV. I'd like to see it on TV, but that's wishful thinking. I'd like to see Lindsey Graham send a subpoena for the whistleblower, and I would like the whistleblower to be asked under oath who at the White House gave them this information about the phone call. And they'll either answer or not, but and they have to answer. And this is part of the coup. It's the same coup. It never stopped. It's the people that brought us the FISA wiretaps on Trump Towers. The same crew.
They just lie. And see, what you're talking about that has to be done is legal action. And they have everything out there. They have these investigations, and it's always public, no matter how stupid or outrageous the claims are, or unfounded. There's no proof. It always comes out that there's no real proof for it. That Ballsy Ford and then all the stuff with Kavanaugh. And they have all these things. They have Lewandowski out there. Everything gets public on their side. I never look at the CNN, but you got me checking them every once in a while. So during the commercials, I went to Don Lemon last night.
Oh.
Cory Booker actually said last night on TV, Biden did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
At this
Yeah.
point of the game, can you say something like that? When they stick together, this is what I mean.
Well, I don't use these kind of comparisons lightly like a lot of people do. But with the news media, what they are basically Goebbels, out of the Goebbels school of broadcasting. Repeat a lie often enough and people will believe it, and they're propaganda outlets. That's why I say turn them off. Turn them off. I only watch it because I have to for my job. If I was in another line of work, I would not be watching any of this mainstream media, but I have to.
I mean, look at Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney said, "Oh, this is deeply troubling," or something like that. Didn't he say something like?
Yeah, and now we find out a top Romney guy works for on the board of this Ukrainian company that was paying the Bidens all this money.
This pay-for-play scheme, the Clinton Foundation, how much money they got. The Biden, we don't hear too much about Kerry. It's Biden's son and Kerry's son that got that 1 point.
Yeah, the Chinese deal. And don't forget, with the nephew of Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger's nephew was in on that deal too, which blew my mind when Giuliani dropped that bombshell the other day. Well, it looks to me that the Ukraine has become to the political establishment of this country what Haiti was after the earthquake to the Clinton Foundation. It seems all of the political establishment people with this Romney connection now are raping and pillaging the Ukraine.
That's Bill Clinton's rape. I call it the rape of Haiti. It's disgusting, and they get away with it. You take someone even like Dershowitz. I mean, here's a guy that's a Democrat, a liberal, whatever you want to call him, everything, and he's a lawyer, right? Trump did nothing worthy of impeachment, he said. I mean,
yeah.
Main point. I don't want to lose the main point here. We have got to have legal actions taken by Republican senators and congressmen. Get these people before the cameras, before congressional committees, just like investigative committees, just like they do. They have inspector general. They have special prosecutors. This is not. But look, how about we have some? It's time.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, this Durham character, this prosecutor that Barr, the Attorney General, has on this FISA. I mean, he needs to come out with some indictments here. I mean, what's going on? What's he waiting on?
and Horowitz and the Inspector General, Horowitz. Listen, we're always waiting for all these things, but nothing ever happens.
Yeah, this whistleblower, you didn't have to wait 6 months or 9 months. This whistleblower complaint was this false complaint by this whistleblower was made, and they're all over it in about 3 minutes. Why are they moving so slow over there on these FISA warrants? What's so complex about it?
That's another thing, and why those judges haven't done something about it, because they were lied to, and they have a case against them.
Yeah.
These things are so simple, and yet they get away with it. When Schiff gets up there yesterday and says the things that he says, he has the report. He doesn't read from the report, but he makes up this thing. It's like crazy.
Let me ask you, because you go back. You probably remember Joe McCarthy when he was like on TV. Who's a bigger sleaze bag, Adam Schiff or Joe McCarthy?
Well, I lived through that McCarthy era. And
yeah.
I have an experience about that.
I agree with you. Joe McCarthy was right on the money with a lot of what he said. I agree with that.
What was McCarthy really trying to do? He was weeding out the communists. He was an anti-communist, all right, in Hollywood, in the media, and in the government, all right. That was his main aim. Now, maybe he did some things that were wrong. He accused people of being fellow travelers and
yeah, got a little carried away there.
And things like that. He got carried away.
Oh, yeah. Texas Blues over on YouTube now. Made the jump from Periscope.
You see, that's why they hate him, because this Democratic Party, going way back to FDR and those times in the 50s and so on, they're all...
Well, there's a book about Ronald Reagan called When Character Was King. I read this book about 15 years ago. It's a very good book on Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan told this story back when he was a Democrat. Franklin Roosevelt's son took Ronald Reagan, when he was the Screen Actors Guild president, to a political meeting. And Reagan got there, and he said it was a Communist Party USA meeting. And Ronald Reagan said Joe McCarthy was right. I did get a little carried away with allegations against people, but he was absolutely right. And he's villainized so much because the communists of Hollywood and of the universities write the histories and make the movies. But this Adam Schiff is probably the lowest of the low that I've ever seen come out of Congress, and that's saying a lot, because congressmen are pretty scummy.
Like Richard says, he's more than a snake in the grass. He's right out there. He's scum. But, to get back to Roosevelt and Joe McCarthy and all that things that happened back then, people should read, if they want to really understand who Roosevelt and what he did to this country and the Democratic Party then, go back and read the Potsdam Conference and those other conferences, all those that led up to giving the Soviet Union its thrust after World War II. The Cold War can be put right on the back of Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right, Ray. We got to run. But thanks a lot for your call, Ray. Ray from Sunrise, always good input. We'll take our break 35 minutes after 6. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977. This is the most pro-Trump radio show in America, I promise you. You will never hear me criticize Donald Trump. Steve, maybe, but not me. I will never criticize Donald Trump. I have a picture of him right behind me. Why does Trump need me to criticize him? He's got enough critics, doesn't he? Not that I see anything that I would want to criticize. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
Planning on making changes to your Medicare plan or prescription drug plan, now is the time to do it. I want you to meet my insurance agent, Debbie, from I Will Advisors. Debbie, you know me, I don't know anything about this insurance thing. That's why I'm glad to have you as an agent. Why is it important people call you now?
Well, open enrollment begins October 15th through December 7th, and it's the one time a year where Medicare allows you to make changes to your Medicare Advantage plans or your prescription drug plans. We can start discussing the new options available to you anytime after October 1st.
So the sooner the better, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, you'll take good, when I tell people to come in and they're Steve Kane listeners, I know you're gonna give them that extra special treatment, right?
Absolutely go out of our way to educate everybody on all their options. We go to your home. We'll meet you at a coffee shop if you're more comfortable, or of course, you're welcome to come to our office in Coral Springs.
That is terrific. Debbie, give them the number where they can get a hold of you. And folks, now is the time to do it. Don't leave things till the last minute. Everything goes wrong when you leave things till the last minute. How can they make that appointment, Deb?
Absolutely. Give us a call. Our number is 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
You're in good hands with Debbie, and give her a call. When you do, be sure to tell her Steve Kane sent you.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand tires like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just
That's
$75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only
Buffoonery. That's a big word to spell at this hour of the morning, Chuck. I'm going to be up in Orlando all weekend, Chuck. I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights.
And no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires
with my daughter.
$30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him
At
when
Universal
you drive,
Studios
he will give
Orlando.
you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Who's the racist? What's the shout out?
.net.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by...
Oh, it is fun. Halloween Horror Nights is awesome. I didn't realize what it was about. First time I went was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's spectacular. It's the most fun you'll ever have on Halloween. My daughter wants to go tonight. I want to go tomorrow. We're driving there today. But I've been up since 1:30 in the morning.
9 offices in South Florida, including Boca Raton, Plantation,
Now, that's for
and
sure.
Coral Springs. Call 1-855-FLA-3782.
I don't scope anymore.
Just search for W.
All right, welcome back, one and all. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. You know, we're counting down to the Steve Kane cruise to the Cayman Islands on the Celebrity Silhouette out of Fort Lauderdale. 6 days of fun and good times with, well, like I say in the commercial, with good friends, because that's what it is. You know, we have this cruise family. It gets bigger every time we do a cruise because everyone that goes on the next one, and then more people join up, and it's a great crew of like-minded Trump people, and we just have a great time. You know, I stay up until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with people, hanging out in bars and clubs, on the deck, hanging out on the ocean, and just having a good old time talking all night. We have a great time, and we have so many activities as well. You know, when we get to where our first stop's Cayman Islands, our second stop is Costa Maya, Mexico, and when we get to Costa Maya, we're taking a group tour to the Mayan ruins there. I'm bringing my daughter. She couldn't go last time. We're just going to have a great time. And you're invited. Give Ian over at Cruise and Travel Depot a call and join us. You know, we have incredible activities planned for our group. All the activities you hear us talk about, you know, we've been talking about this for months. You know, the cocktail parties, the sail away party on the bow of the ship. You know, all these things we talk about that we're doing are exclusive to people in our group. You have to be in the Steve Kane Show group to participate in all of these activities, and they're all included. So you don't have to pay our martini part. All these things we do are just absolutely amazing. And I have a good time on these cruises. I really do. I am so looking forward to it, as is Steve. And give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call and join us. His number, 561-244-5779. If you missed the number, it's listed at stevekaneshow.com, 561-244-5779. I saw that, I want to play this audio. There was a video on Twitter that I find so hard to believe is real, but it is. I mean, and when I play this, how did this happen? Elizabeth Warren, who's becoming the front runner, she thinks she's going to be the nominee. And you know what? It looks like she is, because I noticed not just that Elizabeth Warren is is rising in the polls, but Tulsi Gabbard is out there attacking Elizabeth Warren now. And Elizabeth Warren, as the front runner being is confirmed to me, the party believes that she's going to be the front runner at this point, and that's why Tulsi Gabbard's going after her. Tulsi Gabbard, I think, has made a deal with Biden. You know, Tulsi Gabbard's being groomed to be a vice presidential nominee or even a female presidential nominee by the Democrat Party in the future. Not in this election, perhaps, but in the couple of elections from now. And she did so good taking Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris's presidential campaign is over, and it will never be back because, well, she was exposed by Tulsi Gabbard. And I saw Tulsi Gabbard's qualified for the next debate. She's out there attacking Elizabeth Warren. So, you know. But anyway, Elizabeth Warren did something that was so strange. She called someone. They did this setup phone call where I guess she's just calling people on the campaign, and it's so set up because they've got it's a split screen when you watch this. It's on Twitter, and it's video of Elizabeth Warren on her cell phone calling a very gay supporter of hers, and they have this conversation that is just so bizarre. I got to play it for you right now. I got to play this. You got to hear this. I couldn't believe this was real, but indeed it is. Elizabeth Warren, she calls up this gay guy who's a huge supporter of hers, and they had a camera where he was as well. So that tells you it was a set up thing. Listen to this, Elizabeth. It's so bizarre. As with the first time I play a soundbite on every show, I always have the volume down. Okay, here we go.
Hello, Jonathan. It's Elizabeth Warren.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
You know, I like how this guy, Jonathan, acts as if he's so surprised to get a call from Elizabeth Warren. They have a film crew there filming him receiving the call. So he's sitting there waiting for the call from Elizabeth Warren, but he does act surprised.
Hello, Jonathan. It's Elizabeth Warren.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm having such a crazy day.
I know, but I wanted to give you a call just to say thank you. I'm glad we're going to be in this fight together side by side. I love the endorsement, and for all the right reasons.
Now, who is this? I don't know who Jonathan is to be endorsing people, and I also don't know who the hell would want Jonathan's endorsement, but apparently Pocahontas is thanking him for it.
Right reasons.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, I have to tell you, I realized it was when it was at the last debates, and I was like, this health insurance industry is a f***ing racket.
It felt right.
It did.
And that's why we got to do it, because it is right. Healthcare is a basic human right, and we fight for basic
Oh my
human
goodness.
rights. Not just for some of us, for all of us.
Does anybody know who Jonathan is?
Shoulder to shoulder with you too. I can't believe you called.
Hey, sir.
Let me know how I can be of service. I really want to help.
We're going to do it together. You be strong.
Go save America. We gotta go, and also we also really gotta get that Mitch out of there because regardless of what, I mean, Mitch McConnell, he's the worst. So we gotta take the Senate. We're gonna take Congress back. Well, we already have Congress. We gotta take the Senate back, and then we gotta get you to the White House.
Now, at this point, you can tell Elizabeth Warren wants to get the hell off the phone, but because she's being videotaped and he's being videotaped, she can't get an out from talking to this guy.
Mitch out of there because regardless of what, I mean, Mitch McConnell, he's the worst. So we gotta take the Senate. We're going to take Congress back. Well, we already have Congress. We got to take the Senate back. And then we got to get you to the White House. We're just going to sort everything out. So you go to America. I'm going to go keep doing these interviews. I can't believe you took your time to talk to me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Be strong out here.
Thank you. I will. You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, yeah. Now, I don't know if that's real or not. I mean, that guy is so gay and effeminate. He makes Joey Graceffa sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Raw Deal, right? Anybody know who Joey Graceffa is? Escape the Night. Everybody knows. You guys all know who Joey Graceffa is. I love Joey Graceffa. But I watched Escape the Night. That was just so bizarre to me. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know who Jonathan is. I don't know if that's real. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know if Jonathan is some conservative comedian who took that and made it. I don't know. but it was bizarre. I've seen that all over Twitter, and I didn't see anything that said it was a parody. I don't know. I tell you, running for public office can be a really low life kind of thing to do, can it? I mean, it's yeah. I thought Jonathan was going to do the 2 snaps up and a twist from In Living Color there at the end. Elizabeth Warren is mentally deranged because she actually believes she is going to be the president of the United States. Would she be the POTUS president of the United States or the Pocahontas of the United States? I don't know. Pocahontas of the United States. She does believe she could win and win against Trump. She does. She wouldn't be out there running like this. She's running pretty hard, Elizabeth Warren, if she didn't think she had a chance. And that tells me she's delusional. Oh, man, I tell you, Elizabeth Warren. You got someone who's been passing as a minority their entire life, and they're a creepy-ass cracker just like I am. That's the best the Democrats have to offer. I would like to see, like, Breitbart go talk to Rachel Dolezal about Elizabeth Warren, because Rachel Dolezal was the white girl that was passing as being black and was heading up that NAACP chapter, and she's gotten all kinds of trouble, for passing off as a race that she was not, ethnicity, that she was an African American, and it's really got to burn Rachel Dolezal that Elizabeth Warren doing what she was doing, passing off as an ethnicity that she's not, and they're about to nominate her, the Democrats, for president of the United States, maybe. And she's not even criticized. It really truly is amazing how Democrats have just a license to steal. Democrats have complete immunity from media exposure, no matter what they do, right? Joe Biden committing crimes in the Ukraine, Elizabeth Warren passing off as an Indian and committing fraud her entire adult life. When you're a Democrat, you can do whatever you want. You can steal. Look at the Clintons. The Clinton scandals just in Haiti alone, the rape of Haiti. What the Clintons did to Haiti after the earthquake, they took this poor country that's an anarchy before the earthquake and is almost prehistoric after the earthquake because it was an anarchy after that devastating Haitian earthquake, and they go down there and rape and pillage what's left of the country, the Clintons, with the Clinton Foundation, and they can run and get nominated for president. They're not called out on it. It's amazing. Don Jr., I'm not sure if he said this on Twitter or Instagram. I think Don Jr. was talking about this on Twitter. Early this morning, I saw this tweet from Don Jr., and he said, could you imagine if I did what Hunter Biden did, what they would be saying in the media, what they would be doing? And you know what? You're right on the money. Could you imagine? I was reading this story today, made a very good point that I've been talking about a lot this week. Gateway Pundit, listen to this. They call it Democratic privilege. 2 months after Hunter Biden was dishonorably discharged from the Navy for cocaine use, he's put on the board of the largest oil and gas company in the Ukraine. Does he have any background in the oil or gas business? Like the Ewings or something? Why would a company put Hunter Biden on the board of directors while his father is the vice president of the United States? Does he, if he has some background in the oil and gas industry that I don't know about, and his expertise is needed on this board really bad, but I don't know, some guy just tossed out of the Navy dishonorably for cocaine use, and they're giving him millions of dollars? Could you imagine if Don Jr. was in a similar situation without the cocaine use? If Don Jr. was going around doing what Hunter Biden did with his dad, Joe Biden, with his dad as president, the media would be all over it. You know what? They'd be right to do it. All right, it's 10 minutes before 7. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If
Hey,
I
Neil.
were worse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment.
Neil, I got to get you off Periscope.
Dental has Saturday appointments
I was watching your Periscope this morning.
I will be a patient for life. Don't let costs.
Gotta get Neil off
stop you from
Periscope.
Taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
This is Steve Kane with an exciting announcement from Tavolino's.
That'll happen soon. Good.
Open for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:45. A gourmet menu including dishes like Nana's breakfast sandwich, candied bacon with avocado and aged cheddar cheese, and vine raven tomatoes will make your mouth water. Or how about the steak and eggs Benedict, filet mignon poached on an organic egg, toasted with English muffin, peppercorn sauce, hollandaise, and roasted potatoes will make your mouth water. Or try Delanote's chicken and waffles, crispy buttermilk chicken aged with cheddar cheese, Brussels sprouts, and candied bacon. It is a taste delight you will enjoy every weekend at Tavolino's. To make reservations, call Tavolino's for either the Saturday or Sunday brunch, 954-509-0046. You're going to love this restaurant, and tell them Steve Kane sent you.
People put off the medical care they need for
Oh.
My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid
I know.
$49.
That's gross.
Test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergies.
Oh, man. Make sure you guys subscribe on the YouTube.
Any lab test now with Plantation, probably test.
Subscribe, click the notification bell. If you're watching on a mobile device, just close out the chat room and the subscribe notification buttons come up and you can just reopen the chat.
Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072.
Oh, really? Newborn in the governor's mansion, huh?
LabTestingPlantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, man. You know, most hate crimes that you see in the news are fake. They are. You see fake hate crimes all of the time in the news, and we talk about them often. And, I mean, I got a whole list that we've talked about on the air. I mean, it's crazy, some of the ones. There was one story in one of our local papers years ago that someone tied a noose over a lunch table at a patio at a school cafeteria, outside the cafeteria. And we had some people involved in it, and it was not a noose. There was a table with like one of those table umbrellas over it, and the rope came loose, and one of the students, who was black, I believe, tied the thing on, and the only knot he knew how to tie was a bow knot, like you tie your shoes with. So he tied, I'm not making this up, it's true, he tied a knot like you tie your shoes with this rope, and some girl saw one of the loops was bigger than the other and reported that she saw a noose. There was one Democrat running for office here locally, woke up and there were swastikas spray painted on her car. And as soon as I saw that, I knew it was fake. Because, first off, where are these bands of Nazis concerned about someone running for local office in South Florida? I mean, I've never seen anything like that before. But the biggest tell was, you know, Nazis, when they deface a car, They don't use spray paint that can be painted over or buffed out, maybe. Okay? They use the key. They key the cars, because when you key the car, that's some heavy body damage. It can't be painted over. You'll still see the swastika. You got to maybe even get the part replaced, right? If they do it on the hood, you got to get a whole new hood or a fender. It's easier than the body work. You know, there's all these. There was a black college professor at one of the New York universities who said there was a noose on her, the door handle of her office. New York City Police Department's hate crime unit did an investigation. She put the noose on her doorknob. There was a girl who claimed she was attacked by some MAGA hat wearing people. Hoax. Well, we got another hate hoax, and this one I'm sharing with you because it involves someone from my tribe, the radio talk show world, the world of radio. Listen to this. This is in the Gateway Pundit this morning. Another week, another hoax hate crime from a protected class. Today's installment features New Orleans-based radio host Seth Dunlap, who cried discrimination after the radio station's Twitter account retweeted him. And somebody on the radio station's Twitter account retweeted a tweet of his with a comment, and the comment they added when they retweeted his tweet was, and now I'm quoting here, "You're a fag." Yes. Dunlap, who was gay, lawyered up and announced he would be pursuing a $1.8 million discrimination lawsuit against his employer. Oh, man. You can make that much money on a discrimination lawsuit if you're white? For $1.8 million, I might go gay and let someone gay bash me. My family would be very comfortable with that $1.8 million. My wife would be very happy. Well, when I say go gay, I wouldn't have sex with anybody, but I could pretend. Oh, man. You can really get that kind of money. So anyway, Dunlop, who was gay, lawyered up and announced he would be pursuing a $1.8 million discrimination lawsuit against his employer. Intent on finding out who sent the tweet from the company account, WWL Radio enlisted a digital forensics firm to investigate the matter. Uh-oh. After a thorough analysis, the forensic teams traced the IP address back to Seth Dunlap's phone. That's right, Dunlap is also allegedly seen on camera with his phone in hand just after the tweet was sent. It appears as though Dunlap staged the incident so he could turn around and extort his own employer by playing the victim card. WWL Radio is owned by the media giant Intercom, and WWL Radio has a news report on this story, and I've got the transcript. New Orleans police have opened a probe into a claim from management at WWL Radio and its parent company that radio host Seth Dunlap used the station's official Twitter account to post an offensive tweet and then extorted the station for $1.85 million. Oh, my goodness. The complaint the WWL and Intercom filed says that the digital forensic expert concluded that the tweeted slur directed at the openly gay host came from Dunlap's own phone. Wow, so he, fake hate crime. Oh my gosh, and they've turned him over to the popo for doing this. I tell you. Fake hate crime. And another fake hate crime exposed. In fact, that's not a hate crime. I mean, the tweet, that's not a crime. It's too bad. If there was anti-gay hate all over the place, this guy from New Orleans wouldn't have to go out and manufacture it. It would just happen on its own, wouldn't it? All right, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's our number, 888-465-2631. We'll break and be right back.
1970 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
The Steve Kane Show is sponsored by I Will Advisors, specializing in senior solutions. Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is approaching. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and schedule your free, no obligation appointment to discuss all your.
Be right back, guys.
954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose every 2 hours, either from heroin, fentanyl, or some other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's medicine cabinet is frequently the gateway to the horrors of hardcore addiction down the road. Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert professional help, and if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call Sal at the Edge Recovery. Do it today. 561 area code 523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Hey guys, Brian here. Are you 30 years of age or older? If you are, you have low T. That's low testosterone. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, the coup continues. Make sure you guys subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube. Click that notification bell. I've been up since 1:30 in the morning.
More than it did. And your sex life, well, I don't have to tell you about that.
Dog woke me up and had to go outside. Can you believe it?
Call my anti-aging.
She had to go bad too. Oh my goodness, she was crying.
953
Woke me up, and I stayed up.
Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will give you your energy back. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more productive. And your sex life and sex drive will be back like it was when you were 25. It's a free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you have to tell him you heard about him on the radio.
Yeah, so I'm going to be up today like 24, 25 hours because I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights tonight. And Halloween Horror Nights ends around 2 a.m. Long day.
Hello, my name is Todd Shalleck, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster.
I know.
Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands of homeowners
Tell me
get
about it.
tens of millions of dollars more than what their insurance companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage from Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael, it's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that
Take a
you
nap.
deserve
I have no
for your
time to
house
take a
back
nap.
and
I got a
save
bunch
your
of stuff to
I'm
do
sure
when I
you
get off
agree.
the air.
You want to work with someone that has experience.
Then I got to
in this
drive
industry.
to
I've been doing
Orlando
this since 1993, and our service
and
is very valuable. Because
check
if we don't
into the
get you any
hotel and
additional
then
funds, there's no charge
get
for
in
what we
line to
do.
get in the
Write
Halloween
this number
Horror
down.
Nights. You want to get in when they first open. I think they let people in at 6.
LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Todd Shalleck, Florida license number 823-9272.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA.
Yeah, Texas Blue's a little off.
1-855.
He's a coward, girly man, though. He won't call. He likes to type in all caps.
The opinions expressed
He's
in the following sponsored program are strictly
he's
those
a
of the host,
transient
guests, and
from
callers, and not
Periscope.
necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m.
Any of you guys watch The Masked Singer? Am I the only one that watches The Masked Singer?
7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1 trip.
All righty. Hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We are live streaming on YouTube Live. Just search Brian Craig on YouTube. We live stream each and every morning on YouTube Live. And I'm always live streaming all the time, too, on YouTube Live. Brian Craig on YouTube. I'm at the Fox News website. Here's the headline. Timeline in doubt. Ukrainian official appears to cast doubt on quid pro quo claim, whistleblower's account. The president of the Ukraine said it didn't happen. And it didn't appear to cast doubt. He said it didn't happen. So Fox News, I mean, come on. And then Giuliani was going after Romney last night during Tent's interview, which I did not see. I was talking to a caller about this the other day. You know, Mitt Romney is a never-Trumper. He is a Republican establishment, from head to toe. He hates Trump. And I was talking earlier this week, Mitt Romney right now, in my opinion, Mitt Romney is, and it's so sad because I used to think Mitt Romney was a nice guy. We've had him on the show a couple times. He was up at Wings Plus. This before we knew what a creep he was. And I had a conversation on the phone one day with Mitt Romney, with just a brief conversation here we had him on the show as a guest. And when you have someone like that as a guest, okay, presidential candidate and a big shot, you call them up, they give you a number to call, and, an assistant answers the phone, and then you ask for them, and then they put them on the phone seconds before, as they're going on the air. And I was shocked that they actually gave me Mitt Romney's phone number. He answered the phone. I called the number. It was Mitt Romney's personal number, at least at the time, cell phone number. And he answered the phone. And I was in shock. And I said, Governor Romney, now this is before I knew he was a creep like he is today, And I said, Governor Romney? He's like, yeah. He said, Brian? I said, he knew I was calling. I said, yeah, it's me. And I said, this is so unusual. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, and I told him, I said, usually, you call up someone like you, and some assistant answers the phone and puts them on. I've never had a politician like you answer the phone. He's like, well, it's just answering the phone. I was like, well, and I thought that was pretty cool. I thought he was a down-to-earth, decent guy. Little did I know it was a lie. It was a lie because Mitt Romney's a creep. And what Mitt Romney's doing right now, never trust a guy who has hair that doesn't move. All right? His hair doesn't move. I put hair product in my hair. I use that, I don't know, what is that stuff called? It's like a paste. Those Axe cans, those little black Axe cans with the little paste. But my hair moves, unlike Mitt Romney's. But regardless of that, what Mitt Romney is doing right now is conniving. He believes that he very well could be the Republican nominee in the next election. He still thinks he could be president of the United States. He wants to be the nominee again. And he's conniving. He believes that he very well could end up being the president of the United States still. These people are power-hungry, egomaniac nutcases. I mean, that's just what they are. And Mitt Romney's one of them. And he's one of the, you look at Adam Schiff, and he looks like what he is. Just a scummy, low-life bottom feeder. But Mitt Romney, man, he pulls it off. He is convincing. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a gentleman. He answers his own phone. He does all that stuff. And, it's amazing how the media operate, too. The media love Mitt Romney now because he hates Trump. And people forget, I remember when Mitt Romney was running for president in 2012 against Barack Obama, the media coverage of Mitt Romney was really bad. I mean, I remember they did this story on Mitt Romney. He's got a house in California and he has a lot of cars, Mitt Romney. I mean, he's worth $250 million. He should have a bunch of cars. And they did this story. They went to his house in California Mitt Romney has a garage at his California house that has cars on a conveyor belt elevator system where he goes to the garage, like at the parking garages in Japan and some big cities here. I've parked in a garage similar to this in Miami. And downtown Miami, down by Bayside, they have a garage like this. But Mitt Romney has a garage in his house, and you sit in front of the garage, and you just choose what car, and they just go around on this elevator conveyor belt, and they're like, how can this guy, he's so out of touch. And the mainstream media, it was one of the networks, interviewed the garbage men that pick up the garbage in front of Mitt Romney's house. And they did I've never seen anything like this. And they asked the garbage men if Mitt Romney has ever thanked them for their hard work. And the no, he's never come out here and we're working hard, we work hard, picking up what they leave behind. And he's never come out here. They did this whole story on this. I played it on the air at the time. It was back in 2012. And Governor Romney's never come out here to thank any of us for all the hard work how many of you talk to your garbage man? I hate my garbage men. My garbage men are jerks. I go home, when I get off the air, they're already been there. So there's garbage on my lawn that fell out, they didn't pick up. One day they ran over one of my garbage cans with the damn truck and broke it. I had to go out and buy a new garbage can, But they did this entire story, how Mitt Romney doesn't appreciate the hard-working garbage men, and how he doesn't thank them. And I've never seen a story like this ever. Who has ever talked to their garbage man, one, and who has ever thanked the garbage man? Are you kidding me? So bizarre. So, when he was running against Obama, they went after him pretty hard. And remember when he was talking about the Russian threat, and the media laughed at him, campaign from the 80s, and now they're telling us Russia is the biggest threat, and the binders with women's names in them. And now they love Mitt Romney because he hates Trump. But, at the end of that campaign in 2012, it seemed like Romney gave up, didn't it? And, I suspected back then that he made some deal, And because at the end of the campaign, he wasn't even campaigning Mitt Romney towards the end of that. But the media, it's amazing. Remember the story with Mitt Romney with the dog crate on top of his car for the family vacation? They were after, and then they were calling him a racist because until 1978, the Mormon Church did not allow African Americans to become bishops. And Mitt Romney had this phony baloney story. He was listening on the radio when the Church of Latter-day Saints announced that African Americans will be allowed to be bishops. And do you know what Mitt Romney said he did when he heard that story on the radio? He was in his car. Mitt Romney, it was 78. He said he pulled his car over on the side of the road and cried because finally they had equality at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I mean, come on. What a phony baloney politician. But I tell you right now, he is conniving to become the Republican nominee. He thinks he can pull it off this time or next time. He doesn't realize how old he is either. And now this latest story that one of his top guys is on the board of this company that Hunter Biden was getting all these payoffs for his dad through. Mitt Romney is up to his eyeballs in this Ukrainian mess. What the hell has Mitt Romney got a connection to the same Ukrainian company? Of all the companies in the Ukraine, why does Mitt Romney have a close connection to a Ukrainian company that just happens to be the same company that Joe Biden was funneling money to himself through using his son, right? It's I know. It's a very small, incestuous place, Washington, D.C. And they don't agree on a lot, but the one thing that they agree on is they hate Trump. And I was telling a caller yesterday, the Democrats run D.C., right? It's a little Democrat town. And they're going after the liquor license of the Trump Hotel in D.C. They're trying to get the liquor license revoked. Can you believe this? I mean, what Donald Trump is going up against. I mean, that's pretty petty. They're going after his liquor license. It's insanity what he goes through. But you know what? He's always victorious because he's a squeaky clean Marine. He's never committed a crime. And he's a very smart man who outwits them at each and every turn. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Medicare open enrollment is coming. Iowa Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. Iowa Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080.
I just realized
954-753-8080.
one piece of tape.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist.
Oh, with
for a
Schiff,
lot of
yeah, I don't
years
have that
because
one.
was
I got
afraid
some
of
other
the
stuff,
cost.
though.
But I went to Brighton Dental for
I got
my
some
free
other stuff, though.
consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I
Oh.
needed a crown on top and a
Really?
crown on the bottom.
Yeah,
If I were a
Well,
horse,
maybe
they
teach-
would have put me down.
What?
So
I thought you said that's the
scheduled my
worst thing you
appointment
can
for the
do
next Saturday because
on the
Brighton
radio.
Dental has Saturday
No,
appointments
it's teach
available,
people.
and they save me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve
I
Kane
thought that
listeners
was
incredible
legit. I thought that
discounts
was
on
real
all
transcript
dental
you were
procedures,
Yeah.
just like they
I
gave
was like
me.
shocked.
Prices are so reasonable, you
It
don't
took
have
me
to
a
worry
while
about
to
the
get it
cost.
straight in
So
my
call
head
Brighton
after I heard
Dental
it.
today at
That statement wasn't real when he read.
954-922-4633.
That's why I
That's
called you. I think I Trump did the right.
954-922-4633.
Yeah.
You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
Live tape.
All right, no, I will. You know, I have actually gotten comments from people about the Brighton Dental commercial. You know, Lori Kane's doing the commercial, and you know, because we got some nasty people in the audience. We got nasty people in this audience. Some of our greatest fans think they hate us, but they love us. And they were asking me why. You know, I thought Steve and Lori split. Why is Steve getting his ex-wife dental work? And you know, and I told him this, and I think next time we update the recorded commercial with Steve, maybe we should throw a little tagline at the end of Brighton Dental that the dental prices at Brighton Dental are so low, I don't even mind paying for my ex-wife's dental work, which I think might be a unique little take on the commercial, but the prices are that low. And if the prices weren't that low, Lori would probably be on her own for her dental work. But Brighton, you know, Dr. Gupta over at Brighton Dental is a longtime Steve Kane listener who we just coincidentally through someone ran into. And he's been a listener of the Steve Kane Show way back in the early days in the 80s when the Steve Kane Show first came to South Florida. So when you call Brighton Dental and you go there with Dr. Gupta, you're talking to a friend because he if you're one of the chronics like Richie, he'll know you, I'm sure, right? But you know, you find when you meet listeners, there's a bond right then and there that you're part of the family. So you know, he takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners, and all of his dental prices are incredibly low on all of his procedures. That's why he not only offers free consultations but free second opinions. And I'm not speaking for him. I'm speaking from my personal experience. You know, I personally believe, this is just my opinion. I personally believe a lot of dentists do unnecessary dental work, okay, just to rack up bills. That's my opinion. I have no evidence of that other than I've been to the dentist. I remember once with my wife, a dentist told her she had to get this cavity filled, and that was news to me because she had just gone to another dentist a few weeks before and had everything done, and there were no cavities. All of a sudden, she needs a fill. Well, anyway, he gives free second opinions, Dr. Gupta. If you've gone to a dentist and they tell you need to have this or that done, go get that free second opinion. See if you really do. Give Brighton Dental a call. Price is so low, Steve's paying for his ex-wife's dental work. 954. You like that tagline? That's good. That's a good one. I think we'll add that to the next commercial. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Okay, now, Adam Schiff's the biggest scumbucket ever in the House of Representatives. And I'm telling you, my least favorite member of Congress was Harry Reid. He wasn't in the House. He was in the Senate. And I didn't like that tone. The way he talked, he was just a creep. And there are a lot of lowlives in the Congress, especially in the House of Representatives throughout history, especially among Democrats. I remember when Bill Clinton's impeachment vote was coming up. This was an unbelievable thing. By the way, I keep hearing on even Fox News. I was watching Fox News early this morning when I was doing my show prep, and they were telling us how the process works they keep telling us how the impeachment process works, but they never show us how it worked 21 years ago when Bill Clinton was impeached. And the mainstream media know that there's an entire generation of snowflakes who don't know that Democrat president Bill Clinton was impeached, and they keep implying that Richard Nixon wasn't. I keep hearing references to the Nixon impeachment. Nixon wasn't impeached.
He quit before they could impeach.
Well, they say that, but we don't really know how that would have played out. You can say, well, maybe, likely.
Well, evidently Nixon knew how it would play out because
No,
of the choice that he made.
no, Nixon was a very honorable person, and John F. Kennedy stole the 1960 election. Richard Nixon won the presidency in 1960. And they found those ballots, what was it, the church basement in Chicago? Nixon won all of Illinois pretty much, except for Cook County, Chicago, and they found those extra ballots. And Nixon had an opportunity to contest the vote and do a recount, and he didn't do it because he was an honorable guy. But regardless of that, they skip right over the Clinton impeachment. They imply that Nixon was impeached, who wasn't. Well, he would have been. Well, we really don't know. It didn't get that far. But the best way to illustrate the impeachment process is to show people, right? And you show people by going through the Clinton, because it was a process that went through every step, including the trial, and they don't want to show you that. But I remember when you talk about scummy lowlives in the Democrat Party like Adam Schiff, he's a creep. The actor Robert Davi made a video that's on Twitter about him, about how, his congressional district is Hollywood. And Robert Davi, the actor, very good actor. He was one of the FBI agents in Die Hard. Remember, there was the white guy and the black guy, and they had the same name. You'd know him. He's a character actor. He's in a lot of stuff, Robert Davi. Very good actor. And he's basically decided he's not going to work again because he's on Twitter all the time supporting Trump. So he's done with acting. But he said that Adam Schiff's constituents are the Hollywood elite because that's his district, and he's doing their bidding. They're telling him what to do. I can believe it. But when the impeachment vote in the House was coming up for Bill Clinton, CNN did this story. It was hilarious. They would never do a story like this today. This is before they were totally corrupted. And the Democrats were trying, the Republicans controlled the House and the Senate at the time. And the Democrats were trying to get enough votes together to stop the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And there were a lot of Democrats all over the country that could not vote. They weren't there to vote. Some of them were in hospitals. One of them was facing criminal charges in California, I believe. It may not have been California. And the Democrats were bringing all these Democrats back to Congress who weren't going because they were in the hospital or facing criminal charges and things like this. The Democrats, tell me a Republican we've had that's as much of a lowlife as Adam Schiff, who just every day lies and slanders about people. And this thing yesterday with him reading this fantasy transcript was an unbelievable thing. Now, yesterday, Trump was speaking to a private group, and I'm glad he was the first person to use the word spy. He's talking about the whistleblower, but he was really talking about the person that gave the whistleblower the information. And he was talking to a private group. Someone was recording off to the side.
But basically, that person never saw the report, never saw the call, and he never saw the call, heard something, and decided that he or she, whoever the hell it is, sort of like almost a spy. I want to know who's the person that gave the whistleblower, who's the person that gave the whistleblower the information, because that's close to a spy. You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart, with spies and treason? We used to handle it a little differently than we do now.
Okay, now what they're saying is, now the media have taken that, okay, and I like what he said. I agree with it all. And believe me, Trump, when he says something, even though it was a private function, he's very well aware everybody records everything today with cell phones. So he wasn't trying to hide and saying one thing off camera that he would say on camera. What they're trying to say is that he's calling for the execution of the whistleblower, the spy. No, that's not what he was referencing. Okay, there have been spies many times. This guy's CIA. They've had CIA and FBI spies like Hansen at the FBI and others. And usually when there's a spy, they go out and arrest them. Okay, and what's going on with this whistleblower? This is the same coup that started with the FISA warrants. It's the same group of people. Right. And this was done this was a coordinated effort by the media, the Republican and Democrat establishment, as well as the intelligence community, and they find these legal ways. Like, for example, before I tell you what they did here, which most of you know, the FISA warrant on Trump Tower. They knew they couldn't get a warrant on Trump Tower, so they got those warrants on other people, right? To listen in on them. They just happened to be in Trump Tower. Remember that? They found a little loophole in the law, they thought. They found a loophole here with this whistleblower statute. If somebody sees something, a whistleblower will remain anonymous. They have immunity. They won't face any type of punishment. They won't be exposed. So they use this whistleblower statute to do something which is criminal. And they've stopped the entire government. They're about to get the president of the United States impeached, and they've turned the country upside down. And there is a spy there. The spy is the CIA whistleblower.
More than one.
Yeah, this is a plot. And the Democrat...
Exactly like the first one.
Yeah.
Exactly like what they did when they...
the FISA warrants. And this was very well coordinated. The Democrat, Nancy Pelosi, was very much against any type of impeachment talk, and she turned on a dime. This was an operation, a well-organized operation, and it was put into effect. And the whistleblower, you can't go out and make false police reports. You know, you can't make false police. You can make anonymous reports. You know, one time in the 80s, I was driving down Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, and I heard gunshots. And some guy ran by me. And I didn't have a cell phone then, because only rich people had cell phones in the 80s. Like, you know, you probably had one, Steve. But I went to a payphone and called 911, and I said I heard gunshots, and a guy ran by me. He happened to be black and a wife beater. And they said, would you like to leave your name? And I said, I'd rather not, because, you know, the guy's right down the street. I'm scared. You know, and they said, okay, you can make anonymous complaints, but what you can't make are anonymous fake complaints. So if my 911 call, even though it was anonymous, would have been fake, okay, they would have pursued it, traced the call, done research, and tracked me down and said you made a false report. Making a false police report is a felony. You know, making an anonymous call to the police that is true is not, but you make a false complaint, they will investigate it, you will get arrested and charged. A whistleblower may be protected, but if they make a false complaint, they've committed a crime. And this is a big crime and a big conspiracy that went on with this. And I'm telling you, you know, it was, a week or two ago that the court ruled that Dunlop under Barr at the Justice Department could indict McCabe, okay? And right after that, there's talk of McCabe and Brennan, right? Possible indictments over the FISA warrants. And this guy just coincidentally is a CIA guy, the whistleblower. This is a conspiracy, and they're all in on it, including the media. And yesterday, the Republicans on the committee were even saying with Schiff that they were just making sound bites for the media. It is almost like, and they probably almost like, because it is like this, because they did it, the Democrats on the committee yesterday coordinated what they were saying for sound bites in the media. They weren't interested in what the guy was saying and their answers.
How did you feel about the response of the Republicans on the committee yesterday? Do you think they held their own, or do you think
some of them were okay? Some of it was weak.
Very weak.
Some of it was weak. You know, yeah.
What is his title? The Inspector General, the guy.
The Director of National Intelligence,
Director
Steve
of
Gaines
National
Show.
Intelligence. What a doofus! I cannot believe this guy's heading a major intelligence agency.
He looked like he bought that suit at Sears too. I mean, he looked like he was like he looked like a clerk, and works in a basement.
Basically, you got the feeling no one was defending us, really. I mean,
they looked bad yesterday. The Democrats looked very bad. It looked like what it is. I was shocked.
The Republicans didn't expect the Democrats to do their thing,
Yeah.
their Schiff thing, but the Republicans didn't put up much of a defense.
They didn't do that. Well, I was shocked. I turned on Fox right after when they were done. And the first analysis on Fox, now, of course, this is before Shepard Smith and his crew of creeps come to work, you know. I'm surprised Shepard Smith is up that early to watch that hearing, because I'm sure they stay up late in Greenwich Village, where the Village people are from.
Right.
But that's where he lives.
Let's keep
You think he goes to bed early in Greenwich Village?
I think that you're implying things that
What?
are true.
Yeah, okay. No, but the first analysis on Fox right after the hearing was over, the immediate response on Fox News was the truth. that the Democrats put on a show, that there was nothing came out of that, and they looked very bad. It looked like what it was. It looked like what it was. Nothing was done wrong, and the Democrats were just out there to get sound bites for the media for the afternoon news block. By the time Shepard Smith came around, though, everything changed. Let's take one call, and then we'll break. Mike, you're on the radio.
Yeah, I'd just like to take up something you said, Brian, about Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
If I can.
Do it, man. Do it. Go ahead. You've got them.
Okay.
Spotlight.
If you get, I just had to step out of the room. I got all the kids. Just if you get kicked out of the Navy for doing cocaine, the next logical step forward would be making $4 million as an executive Ukrainian gas company with no experience. That seems perfectly logical to me.
Yeah, well, the thing about, people struggle with drug addiction. I've had people in my family that are, currently hooked on drugs, and it's not fun, and it's a terrible thing. But one thing that my experience with people that I've known that are drug addicts, okay, you don't give them 10 cents. He gets thrown out of the Navy, dishonorable discharge because of the cocaine, and then boom, he's got a multi-million-dollar deal with this Ukrainian oil and gas company. He has no experience in the oil or gas industry.
You're talking about
Hunter Biden. So who gives a drug, and they keep saying recovered. He looks like, every time I see Hunter Biden, he looks like he just did a few lines off a stripper's rear end at some Vegas strip club. I mean, he doesn't look like he's recovered to me. He always looks, doesn't he always look like he's on a bender? Who would give somebody like that millions of dollars? What kind of company?
Closing really quick.
Go.
Biden using federal money to bribe Ukraine into bailing his son out. It's fine, right? Personally by the Democrats and the media. But Trump asking them to look into that crime is an impeachable offense. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up.
See, what they're saying is crimes are not crimes. Talking about crimes are the crimes, right? Which means everybody on court TV is a criminal because they talk about crimes, right? And I give another example. I was talking to my wife about this, and what they're saying is talking about the crime is the real crime, not the actual crime. So Ann Rule, who wrote the book on Ted Bundy's not the criminal. Ann Rule is, because she talked about Bundy. I mean, that's what I know that seems extreme, but that's what they're saying with Trump. All right, we'll take our break. Steve's here 33 minutes after 7. We'll be back after this.
Off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over.
I already did.
Test now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel $28. Complete thyroid panel $49. Diabetic A1C test only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergens, and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any lab test now or Plantation, probably test for it. Any lab test now or Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with any lab test now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental
Answering some
gives
emails.
Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin. And now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men. It works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweat and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him.
I just mentioned it while you were here. I can go right up again.
It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaRaton.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490.
Well, if I get a few minutes, I can pull it up, but I can't do it while I'm talking.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices in South Florida, including downtown Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables, and downtown Miami. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh, boy. Oh, before we get back to this stuff on the hearing, I was just reading this story today, I tell you. This scummy teacher. Listen to this. Palm Beach County. Florida, this is in Palm Beach County, right here in our listening area. Florida middle school teacher reassigned for a question about Trump on a quiz. Okay, this is a middle school teacher, Palm Beach County. She had a multiple choice quiz. Okay, here's the question. She's been reassigned because of this. Second question on the quiz. 45th president, 2017, Republican, real estate businessman, comma, idiot. Your choices are Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and of course the correct answer, Donald Trump. So, yeah, an upset parent posted the quiz question on Twitter. It quickly went viral. The person that posted it has locked their account, probably because they got harassed by liberals. Okay, it's Watson B. Duncan Middle School in Palm Beach County. She had multiple choice questions in which she asked students to determine the figure being described based on word clues. So this was a word clue: 45th president, 2017, Republican, real estate businessman, idiot, and the correct answer was Donald Trump. And the parent said, my daughter was doing her homework at the dinner table, and she said to me, Daddy, you got to see this question. I took one look, and it was very unacceptable. A father of the student who wished to remain anonymous told local news station WPBF, it's an obvious example of indoctrination at our school system where teachers are forcing their opinions on our children.
So what do they do? So they reassign the teacher to another...
The teacher has now been reassigned pending an investigation.
Now you can destroy the minds of a different group of people.
Yeah, okay. You know, this is the thing about this teacher, okay? It's not that she's a political hack or anything. She has very poor judgment. You know, because when the teacher put this on the quiz, she didn't think it was a controversial question. She didn't think it was a political question. She just thought it was an accurate description of President Trump. She's got that Trump derangement sickness. And I'd like to know a little bit about this teacher. I'd like to know how old she is. Is she white? Is she black? I'd like to know some details about it and find out how long she's been teaching. Just a little more information. I don't know if we'll get any of that, but you know, that's it. That's
Republican or a Democrat?
Yeah. What do you think? I think she's Democrat. I think so. Well, I don't know. A lot of never Trumper Republicans around, but not in the school system. I tell you, liberals they have no sense. I mean, they just consume with hate. You know, basically it. But I was shocked. You told me you thought that this hearing was terrible for Trump yesterday.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what you were watching.
I was watching the hearings, but I was half watching. I mean, there are times when I watch and I really focus in on my absorption rate is at 100%. There are other times when it's kind of in like the background and I'm hearing and not hearing. And the reason when I called you, it was right after Schiff had read, I don't know what it was. I was under the impression he was reading from the transcript of the stuff that had been.
No, I mean he was. I got it pulled up here. I mean he was reading a work of fiction. I'll play it. I'll put.
But he didn't. But when I listened to it, and I was listening the first time round.
Yeah.
I missed the part that said it was fiction. I thought
No. He didn't. He didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
But,
He implied. Yeah. He implied he was.
That's what he did. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
he purposely read it to, because he knew there'd be people out there that would
Yeah.
get that impression.
Yeah.
Which was erroneous and spread it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Now, did he know what he was doing? I think he knew.
Did he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Get out of here.
He knew. Yeah, I know. That's why. But that's what makes him the biggest scumbag in Congress. I've never seen
And how long
someone
did
dishonest.
that he was doing this? Let me ask you this: when he was doing it, when he started doing the reading, how long was it before a Republican interrupted him and pointed out what he was doing?
Forever. I don't think any of them did they?
No, not that I saw. That's why I called you.
It
and
was.
said Trump is in trouble.
Oh, that's why. Oh, I didn't realize that's why you thought that.
Don't you think that's how the trap was set up?
Well, I knew it was not the real transcript because on Twitter instantly. It sprung up on Twitter, so it didn't even. It didn't have time for it even to sink into me, you know. So, you know, but Schiff is a real. I got it here. I'll play it for you. This is. I'm just going to put. I didn't pull up the audio, but so I'm putting my mic up to the computer.
How he introduced that.
Well, I don't have Steve. I can't get the whole hearing. I got what I got. I'll give you what I got. Okay.
I'm telling you what
I can't take requests.
Of what the president communicates.
Okay. So the essence is a disclaimer. So he's not saying this is exact. He's saying this is the essence.
Right.
So I guess that's his disclaimer. The essence.
Right. Which means it's phony and has nothing to do with what really was said.
The essence of what the president communicates. We've been very good to your country. Very good. No other country has done as much as we have. But you know what? I don't see much reciprocity here. I hear what you want. I have a favor I want from you, though. And I'm going to say this only 7 times, so you better listen good.
Outrageous.
I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent. Understand lots of it.
That's crazy.
On this and on that. I'm going to put you in touch with people, not just any people. I'm going to put you in touch with Attorney General of the United States, my Attorney General, Bill Barr. He's got the whole weight of the American law enforcement behind him. And I'm going to put you in touch with Rudy. You're going to love him, trust me. You know what I'm asking, and so I'm only going to say this a few more times, in a few more ways. And by the way, don't call me again. I'll call you when you've done what I asked. This is, in character, what the president was trying to communicate.
Okay. Now I'm watching. Now hold on. Now I'm watching the video. Okay, I'm watching the video because I didn't see it. I was listening to it, and when he's reading this, I can see the Republicans are talking to themselves, and they're thinking, "Is this the transcript? Is this what he really said? I don't." You know, they're like talking like they can't believe it. So they weren't sure at that moment because it caught them off guard. Now later, I'm reading that this is in the Federalist. It says later in the hearing, Schiff admitted that his fictional account of the transcript was a parody.
When confronted.
Yeah, he said, my summary of the president's call was meant to be at least part in parody. Of course, the president never said, if you don't understand me, I'll say it 7 more times. And he went on, you know, he knew what he was doing.
So when I called you, it was right after that had occurred in the radio, and I said, my God, Trump's really in trouble, because I got the impression
that Trump said
which
that
was intended. That's why they did it the way they did it.
Yeah.
Presented it that way to create the impression that this was really what Trump had said. And I'll bet you there were more people out there that believe that than believe the truth.
Well, when I just saw the video of the other Republicans on the committee and they're talking to each other, they're like, "Did he really say that? Is that in the transcript?" You can tell that they're like
No,
caught
they
off guard.
interjected.
Well, they didn't know at the time. It took them
So
some.
you stop and ask.
Well, later on, I guess they brought it up, and when he had to
After
walk
the
it back.
damage was done.
Well, see, that's what they do in the media, right? Because he's working with the media. You get out the untrue slander, and then later you clarify it, and no one ever hears the retraction. They only hear the first thing. So that was propaganda 101 right there
And
with
I
Schiff.
think they got away with it.
Nancy Pelosi should pull him off that committee for that.
Pull him off that committee. She's thrilled to death.
I've never seen a stunt like that before. Ever.
No,
Ever by
no.
anyone.
And how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is the coverage on that moment, that point?
Well, it depends on where you get your information. It's all over the internet, which is where I get my news. They've been talking about it since the instant it happened.
But if you don't do the internet...
Well, you saw it on Fox. I'm so Fox is covering it. But the big...
No, but they didn't clarify the moment.
Oh, really?
No, of course, that's what I'm trying to tell you here. When I called you, it was after just what you played. And it sounded like he was reading from the...
Oh, okay. I wonder why you were in such a panic yesterday.
Why do you think I'm been so hysterical?
I wondered what you were watching. I had no idea. Because you were really upset. You thought, oh, Trump's done. You said this really bad.
If that had been a transcript...
Oh, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Well...
It would have been bad.
And believe me,
I wouldn't care. I'd still support him.
There today, walking around, under the impression that was actually what Trump said.
Yeah.
Then that are walking around knowing the truth. And
Schiff should be. How do they discipline members of Congress? He should be disciplined by Nancy Pelosi for that. I mean, that was just a lie, a clear lie, a slander.
You know, she's not going to discipline him. She's behind it. They planned that. You think that happened spontaneously?
I think he did that without Pelosi knowing. He didn't go to Pelosi and say, "I'm going to read this fake transcript."
The whole thing was orchestrated.
Steve Kane.
I mean, they're building their whole case on that.
That's pretty hardcore. I've never seen a public official do that before, ever. Have you?
So now you understand why I was upset?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do. I didn't realize you thought that was real. Well, that was his intent.
It was intended that way.
Well,
it was
yeah.
intended to create that impression.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see how you could see that. So I was listening online and was on Twitter, and instantly on Twitter exploded and said that's not true. He made that up. It was like instantaneous. But on TV, I guess there was a 12-hour delay on exposing that. But when you see the members of if you were sitting there and you were one of the Republicans, you'd be like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that was in there." Well, we gotta review the transcript. You know what I mean? So they thought they missed it.
That's the gist of the whole story right there of what they were.
He's a monster. Schiff is a monster.
Absolutely.
I mean, he really is a monster, and the biggest lowlife ever in Congress to do that. I mean, he's the committee chairman.
Do you think to this moment that most people out there realize what you're saying?
I think we would have to open the phones up to that because
open up the phone.
Yeah, because we get our news from different places, so we have a different perception.
Which is good. But we want to know what your impression was out there as you listened to that moment.
See, I would say no, but if you don't get any news off of the internet, you may not know. I don't think CNN did Don Lemon spend a segment exposing Schiff's lie?
No. No.
What about Fredo? Did Fredo cover it?
They did the best they could to blend it all in to make it sound like that was actually what had been said.
Let me tell you something. If a Republican did that, I would want them out of Congress. If a Republican, I would not stand for some. If they were,
Republicans don't do things like that.
Well, Steve, I've never seen a Democrat do something like that before. I mean, that is the biggest move I've ever seen, the scummiest thing I've ever seen anyone do in Congress. I've never seen someone just make up. And
that's why I said to you,
I had no idea.
The important thing is the transition.
Steve
how
Kane
he
show.
Introduced it. That's the important thing because that's where he manipulated
the essence. That's the disclaimer. Yes. The essence. That's his disclaimer.
The essence. Which means that's what Trump really said, even though he didn't say it.
Well, what the Republicans should do, but they're cowards, is they all talk on the floor all day. Each and every one of them should go up to the microphone and condemn him today. and call on Nancy Pelosi to take, it would be a media event. At least it would make it on the news then.
But you know something? These Republicans are not going to do that. That's why I'm afraid for Trump. I think he's got a weak team up there. You know, you got a couple guys like Gowdy in the House, although he's not in the House anymore, but there are a few people up there who are articulate and will cut to the chase and make the point. But he is being ill defended. I think that's why Giuliani's so important. Giuliani's his lawyer. He's up there to defend him. It seems like he's the only one. Anyway, let's take a break. We would love you.
Steve
I
Kane
want
Show.
to hear from the audience on this one. Most days, you call, you don't call. It's no big thing. But this involves the impression that you had watching the hearings yesterday. I contend that most people are going to be under the misapprehension that was actually the transcript. Really, talk much for a living, Steve. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of Margate, where they have all the major name brand
Well,
tires
we're watching
at
different
Goodyear
things.
and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Sienna van at the other tire shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town. Friendly Tire, only $65. That's more than a 50% savings. Those prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
I'll take care of him.
Friendly Tire.
No, Steve Kane Show.
This is Steve Kane
I
inviting
got
you
it,
to
don't
come
worry.
see the all-new Toyota of Hollywood. You know, for the past 4 years in a row, Toyota of Hollywood has been #1 in volume for Toyota sales in the southeast region of the United States. There are lots of places you can shop for a new car, but there is only one Toyota of Hollywood where you will be treated like royalty. The service you receive at Toyota of Hollywood is second to none. No high-pressure sales, no hassle, no haggling, just the best deals on the brand new Toyota of your choice.
Yeah.
At Toyota of Hollywood, there is a full line of new and pre-owned Toyotas, sure to meet the needs of you and your family. I drive a Sienna van, plenty of room, not only for the kids, but for the grandkids as well. It's roomy, it's comfortable, it drives like a dream. And then there's my favorite model of Toyota, the Camry. I've owned 3 of them over the years, and boy, are they made to last. That's right, you take care of your Toyota, it will take care of you. Then, of course, as a starter car for the kids in college, the fabulous Corolla, the ultimate in driving efficiency, priced perfectly for that first car. When you shop at Toyota of Hollywood, make sure you ask for Steve Ostrov. That's right, he's the GM. He's a big Steve Kane fan, and he is going to give you the deal of a lifetime. The new Toyota of Hollywood, 400,000 square feet with the most gorgeous Toyota automobiles you have ever seen. Located between Sheridan Street and Hollywood Boulevard on Highway 441, open till midnight. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. This year, I turned 45, and I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little pellets inserted under my skin. And now my testosterone levels are being restored to where they were when I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life, it's better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men. It works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women. You don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapybocaratone.com. Or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh, boy.
All right, we're back. Let's take some of these
All
calls.
right, let's-
We would like to get you to focus in on that moment yesterday
Yeah.
that I think was the most devious thing I've ever seen a politician do when Schiff got up and he read this imaginary thing that sounded like something the Godfather would have written. Play it one more time.
Oh, I don't have it queued up now because we're gonna go to the phones. Okay. But let's go to Jim Lockwood.
All right, Jim, you're on the air.
Hey, Brian and Steve, how you guys?
Good.
How are you guys this morning?
Excellent.
So yeah, I'm not surprised about Schiff. What I'm really angry about is what the hell were the Republicans doing there? They were all looking at each other like chickens with their heads cut off. This is a 9-page document. 9 pages. I'm blind, and I read the darn thing before the hearing. They had it for 24 hours. Why didn't they read it? They didn't read it. That's why they're all looking at one another.
You ask an interesting question.
They didn't read
it.
it.
You have an answer in your mind. Why do you think they didn't read it?
They don't care.
They're lazy.
I think
lazy.
That's a good way to put it.
They're congressmen, lazy.
Let me ask you a question.
Well, I don't think they're that invested in. Hold on, Jim. I don't think they're that invested in defending Trump. That's what I think.
No, they're not. They're not at all. They're not at all. They're a bunch of gutless cowards. But I'm telling you, the Democrats better be very careful about what they do. If they do an impeachment inquiry, it's not talked about in the news right now because they're pretty much idiots in the news, too, in the mainstream media. But that gives not only the Democrats subpoena power, but the Republicans equal subpoena power, too, even though they're the minority on all the congressional committees. So I would hope that one of those people who are Republicans in the House would actually get some guts. And why don't we send a subpoena to Hunter Biden? I mean, here's a guy making tens of millions of dollars.
Well, I think Biden's going to. I think Biden's going to get his. I think the Democrats have a dual target here. They obviously want to discredit Trump, but I think they're also they're looking for a twofer. They're looking at just take Biden out at the same time they take Trump out. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just there's so much corruption and so many leakers, and they do nothing. They how many times have we had leaks come out of the White House? They do nothing.
This is a rerun of what happened with Comey and with the first time around. It's a setup. That's what it is.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'd like to, one more thing, Nancy Pelosi, you're no longer the leader of the Democrat Party, AOC.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not going to agree with AOC being the leader. AOC had nothing to do with this operation. See, Trump's out there. They're prosecuting leakers now, right? So what they did is they found a way around it with this whistleblower statute. This is a very sophisticated intelligence community operation, not some commie bartender that doesn't know there's 50 states.
And you think they'll wake up when they find out that the leaker was a member of the CIA? Do you think that'll jar them into reality?
Well, you know who I'm more interested in than the leaker? I want to know the whistleblower. I want to know who gave the info to the... I'm confused. Maybe you know, Jim. Did someone give the information to this... Did someone give the information to the CIA guy? Or was the CIA guy the...
So-called whistleblower, who's a CIA agent now that we know, he as we've been hearing, he has...
Yeah. So who is the first person that gave the CIA, the spy inside the White House that created this whole chaos in our government? Do you think that you're an attorney? Did they commit crimes here by filing false whistleblower complaints? Is that a crime?
Absolutely, it's a false claim. It's a false claim.
It's not felony?
You can't. Well, I mean, I haven't looked at the federal statute, but I imagine.
Well, what is exactly, Jim?
No
What is
Steve Kane Show.
What is the claim specifically?
Hey, are you
What
coming
are
by
they
today?
claiming?
No, that's okay.
essentially
That's okay.
told
Don't
the
worry. We can do it next week.
Ukrainian,
Exactly.
That's no worries. No worries. Hold on. No, don't. Hang in there. Hold on.
The only way you can look at that transcript, where he said, I'd like to do me a favor, and kind of hinting around that, is maybe you could argue it was an implied quid pro quo, meaning you do a favor for me, I do one for you. But the Ukrainian president, or prime minister, several hours after the transcript was released, was at a press conference.
He said it never happened. They've ignored that.
Can I ask you a question? Is it not, it struck me, isn't the entire premise of foreign aid built on this quid pro quo?
I thought so.
Why do we give foreign aid? Because we expect things in return. Otherwise, we shouldn't be giving out billions of dollars. So why doesn't somebody say that?
We're not allowed as a sovereign nation to put conditions on money being given to other nations.
But it is. It's unspoken. Am I right or wrong?
I think it's spoken, not unspoken. It's spoken, isn't it? It's spoken, not unspoken.
Well, is it one of these damn idiot Republicans going to get up and say that?
No, they're not going to, because I don't think they have any gumption to get in the middle of this. They're a bunch of cowards.
But you know what? You brought up something no one brought up. I mean, we didn't even actually think of it. When you see that when Schiff read his script of the parody that he calls it, his slander, and the Republicans are looking at each other. You're the first person I've heard say that they didn't read it, the transcript. And you know what? You're right, because they're a bunch of lazy people. They're in Congress. They didn't read the damn thing, and they were scrambling to find out if it was really in there.
Look, they should have known who Schiff was. This is not someone who's a moderate and suddenly stab someone in the back. Schiff is a complete left-wing lunatic. They know who it is.
He's a sociopath. I mean, he looks insane when I see him. He looks totally insane. No empathy.
On TV, I'm glad to be blind.
Yeah, you're lucky.
We're on the verge of losing our country here if people don't wake up.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
Top of the hour. Jim, thanks for your call.
Yeah, on the line, I'm just going to play the station ID, and then we're going to go to Dr. Mitch Matez.
Okay.
Steve, we got Dr. Matez on the line. And, Dr. Matez, who is on the cutting edge when it comes to anti-aging. And, of course, Dr. Matez, you pioneered, you brought to South Florida hormone replacement pellet therapy. You've been talking for a long time about telomeres and the length of these telomeres so far as the aging process. And now I'm starting to hear other people talking about telomeres now. You're on the cutting edge of anti-aging medicine, Dr. Matez.
For that call.
No, haven't you heard other doctors are now talking about telomeres all of a sudden? You've been talking about them forever.
Oh yeah, you got a couple companies advertising on television, on cable TV.
Yeah.
Telomeres now.
Yes.
With good reason, because it's good solid science. Nobody's opinion here. The telomeres are your DNA protectors of your DNA is your telomeres, and you have a certain length to these things when you're born. Actually, you have a certain length when you're conceived. This is really cool. From the time you're conceived until the time you're born, you lose about a third of your telomere length capacity and ability. So by the time you're born, you're already 1/3 your way towards death.
Oh my goodness. So what can you do to help our telomere length, and why should we do that?
There's actually a product out there that is specifically the actual sequence of DNA that your body uses to protect, strengthen, and lengthen
your telomeres. You can take it. They have shown in animal studies, in mice, it has literally doubled their lifespan. You cannot make that claim in humans yet, but there are a lot of people who've taken PA65 for a long time and doing very, very well. And this is testable, by the way, Brian. We can test the distillate, we can then retest the.
And you actually have a treatment in your office involved. You've been telling me about telomeres for a long time, and I mean, I understood what you were talking about, but it seemed like gobbledygook science, and now I'm hearing everybody else talk about it. So it's something that's on people's mind now. So you have do you have something that you can offer people in your office for lengthening their telomeres? Is that what you do?
There's it's an oral preparation you can take. It is an extract. It is something that is naturally occurring. It is specifically natural to the human body. It is what the body is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what happens? I come into you and I take this medication you have. My telomere is lengthened. What happens? What changes in people when you lengthen their telomere?
In general, the areas in your body, what's been shown is the areas in your body that have the shortest telomeres are the areas where you will see disease and progression of aging. By lengthening your telomeres, you're hopefully attempting to arrest this inflammatory process.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. Listen, give Dr. Matez a call. It's a completely free consultation for listeners of the Steve Kane Show. I'm a patient of Dr. Matez, hormone replacement pellet therapy. Let me tell you something. Everything Dr. Matez says is true times 10. It's something you got to experience. You can hear people talk about it all day, but until you experience it, give him a call right now, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And the reason I brought up the telomeres is not just because everyone's talking about it. Dr. Matez has been involved with this telomere therapy for quite some time, not this fly-by-night thing that all these other guys are talking about now. This is his area of medical expertise. 561-953-5490. All right, Dr. Matez, we'll talk to you next week. All righty. All righty. Oh, boy. Oh, man. You want to take some more calls?
Let's do it.
All right. You can't believe it's Friday already? All right, you're on the radio.
Senator Doug, good morning.
Oh, hey, Doug.
I'm so sick of this congressional decorum, they call it, that you have to be polite and let somebody just go talk and say nonsense. Somebody should have stood up and said, what the hell is that? Shut the hell up and enough of this lying ridiculousness.
They were
But nobody
asleep.
does it.
They were
have to sit
asleep at
down
the
and
switch.
Take it. I didn't hear you.
I said they were asleep at the switch.
Well, that,
All this
you
was
know,
going on. They
listen.
were sitting there saying, what is this?
If
Caught him by surprise.
this is how you handle it. You don't say, shut up, Schiff, you creepy son of a scumbag. What you say is,
Actually, that sounds
this is what you say. Say, Mr. Schiff, Congressman, I'm looking through the transcript. I'm not finding this portion that you just read. What page can I find that on? And then you force him to admit that he had made it up. That's how you, that's,
And it
you
would have
know.
been a moment of triumph instead of a disaster.
That's what Steve and I would have done. We'd be prepared. We'd been in there with the red thing and been ready for that scumbucket.
It would have been a little better. Get up and scream at the guy. You see what that did? Who was the Obama appointee for the border when he told the woman, the chair?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that.
Banging on the hammer, and he kept talking. That's the way we are.
Yeah. All right. You know, I was just reading this story today, Steve. There is a police department that has Teslas. You know, the electric cars. You know, Teslas are the electric cars, and they were in a high-speed chase, and they ran out of juice. The suspect got away. It's in the news today. Well, no, the police had the electric car, and the bad guy had one of those evil carbon-emitting gasoline engines, you know, combustible engines, and the cops ran out of energy, and the car just stopped. They ran out of electricity.
That pretty much tells it all.
Bad guy got away. But Elizabeth...
Yeah, we got to cut a special spot for the bad guys.
Well, the key is if you want to go electric, you go hybrid, like the Toyota Prius. Because if you got a Prius and you run out, you got a gasoline engine in there too. So you're.
Toyota. Oh, great. The Supers are. By the way, I think our friends over at Hollywood Toyota, I think they got a large number of the Supers that are.
I heard
it's
that.
A very limited edition.
Yeah.
And it is the place to go. I'll tell you if you. Oh, it's the greatest car.
If you can, you buy 2 of them and you put them in the garage and hold on to them for a few years.
Pretty wealthy.
Yeah, I know, but that's an investment. Those Supers are an investment.
I can promise you that.
I'm looking at that Prius though. Talking to my, and you get older, the Prius, the hybrid. Yeah, my brother-in-law has the Toyota Prius, and he lives down in Coral Gables, and he works in Boca, and he makes the drive every day. So he got the Prius. He loves that Prius. He's got 250,000 miles on his Prius. More than that, actually. Over 250,000 miles, which is to the moon. And, think about that. Over 250,000 miles. Do you know how much money he spent on maintenance? Over 250,000 miles?
Well, I'm gonna check it out.
$750 is the only maintenance he's put in that car.
Hollywood and ask for our buddy Steve
Yeah,
over there.
that's right. But I didn't bring that up to do the Toyota spot, which is pretty. But we morphed into that. Elizabeth Warren. When I saw this story about the cops having those Teslas, I've seen them on the road, and I often wonder what happens because
You need wonder no more.
Well, many years ago, a long time ago, I had an electric car that was loaned to me with someone. And this is when electric cars were new. This was like in the early 90s. And someone loaned me and someone else an electric car for a radio promotion. And we drove to Miami. And we got to Miami. We didn't have enough juice to get back. And we had to go borrow. And I'm serious. We had to go borrow an extension cord and asked someone if we could plug the car into the lobby of this place where we were at. It was Clear Channel in Miami. And the only reason they let us plug in is because they'd never seen an electric car before, and they were so amazed. They're like, "Oh, cool!" And we waited for hours, and we had just enough juice to get back to Fort Lauderdale if we didn't run the air conditioning in the Florida summer on I-95. It was a nightmare.
Technology for our police cars.
So the police have these kind of cars, these Teslas. Elizabeth Warren. I brought this because Elizabeth Warren was talking about the future of America. With her is POTUS, and of course POTUS with her is Pocahontas of the United States. But this is Elizabeth Warren the other day talking to a group of her cult members from the tribe.
Codes in place. We need to say by 2028 we're not going to do any more buildings and houses that have any carbon emissions. By 2030, no more cars with carbon emissions, and by 2035. No more production of electricity that has carbon emissions.
Okay.
And next, no boats.
This.
Next, we walk.
I know. So we're going to become Amish. We're going to become Amish under Elizabeth Warren. We're going to go back with nature, like the Indians.
The movie Witness. Remember that?
Yeah, with Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Yeah. I interviewed Carl Sagan once. Remember Carl Sagan?
Oh, yeah.
He's dead now. But I interviewed Carl Sagan, and he was talking to me. He was a smart guy. I got to tell you, Carl Sagan. He was talking to me about the fallacy of the electric car. Okay? And he made a point that's such common sense, but he's Carl Sagan, he said, all these people that promote electric cars, it sounds good and all, but where does the electricity come, right? He says if you have it at home, it's plugged into your house. He said some coal plants making the electricity, sending it to your house to power the car. So you're not doing anything. You're still using the same carbon emissions because it's such a joke, the electric car. But Elizabeth Warren wants us to go Amish, or live off the land like her Indians used to do. My goodness.
Well, I don't know.
Let her be the nominee.
Very crazy now.
She's about to become the front runner.
Yes.
This is great. That's the Amish lady, the fake Indian, Pocahontas in chief. This is gonna go Amish.
But I don't know. They're trying to take him out. I mean, it's unbelievable.
They're
Trump? Trying to use the process.
They're trying to weaken him. They're trying to weaken him so that they can't come in with these indictments against the FISA conspirators.
Why would it? How did you figure that works?
Well, they have a fantasy that if he's impeached, he'll be weakened. It'll make him stronger.
Well, I mean, you're talking about when the indictments come down?
They're trying to stop the indictments. They're trying to stop the indictments.
By...
Steve, they're in a hysterical panic state and not thinking rationally. You cannot try to think of a rational path here.
Well,
Brennan may get indicted, Steve.
Well,
you know, so these people are in a panic. They're not thinking rationally. If they were thinking rationally, they wouldn't have done this whistleblower complaint.
I don't know. I think
It's backfired on him. Trump's raised $13 million in 2 days for his campaign.
Is that the standard measure we want?
It's a poll, yeah. And these are, by the way, Don Jr. sent out a big thank you to those people. These are small individual donations. So it tells you that people are rallying around Trump during this continuous coup that's going on.
Well, I want to see. It'll be a while before the polls settle so that we can get a picture of, what the fallout from this, how much effect it's going to have on public opinion. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous, I must say. And now that you've listened to the part of the transcript that made me know this thing that Schiff pulled, that made me nervous, I would think you might...
By the way, the Schiff with an F that Schiff pulled. I mean, you got to be careful because when you say his name, I have never seen someone, congressmen lie. I mean, politicians are liars, but I've never seen someone tell such a bold lie live on TV like that. Yeah, I know. And then go out and act as if it was meant to be that way.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. We'll return after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire of
You're
Margate.
like, price is so low, I don't mind paying for my ex-wife's. Price is so low, I don't mind paying for my ex-wife's dental work. That's a good one. Dr. Matez isn't coming in today, so he couldn't make it today. He's got patience.
Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the tire shops around town.
That telomere thing he's been talking about, they're promoting it all over Fox. He's been telling us about that for years. And now it's like mainstream.
Friendly Tire have a great selection of used tires too, at $30 for most sizes. Call my good buddy Mike at Friendly Tire.
Well, there is no sun when I come in, so I beat it every day. Yeah, right.
977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Steve Kane Show.
This is Lori Kane. And
Hey,
I'm gonna
PJ.
tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth.
They got the first lawsuit against Penn Dutch, I was reading.
Really?
An employee. They're putting a lawyer, this attorney, they're getting employees together because they knew they didn't give the employees proper notice before, because they knew it was coming.
You can visit them at brightondental.com.
Well, they're damaged. How can you go to Publix and say, hire me, I've got this experience, when they knew they had these problems and they were working there?
I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented My Pillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. My Pillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all my own manufacturing right here in the United States.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry My Pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Did you hear that call I played with Elizabeth Warren talking to this gay guy? I'll play it for you. I played it earlier. It's PJ on the line. Let me play it before PJ.
Kane, K-A-N-E, or call 1-800-716-4879 and give them promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, and receive 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price. Again, use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com or 1-800-716-4879 for this fantastic offer.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, you got to hear this. Got to hear this call.
All right, we are back.
Oh, before I played this earlier in the show. You missed this. I gotta play this Elizabeth Warren call with this gay guy. You'll love this, Steve. I thought it was fake, but it was. I'll tell you about it. But I want to tell people, with the mypillow.com offer, by the way, if you go to mypillow.com, they've got a lot of discounts on pretty much everything when you use the promo code KANE. But the 2 MyPillows for the price of one special at mypillow.com with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, you can also call and order, okay? Because a lot of people like to deal with someone on the phone. I'm going to give you a number right now. You can call and order all the MyPillow products using the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, get the 2 MyPillows for the price of one. On the MyPillow mattress, they've got a new offer up to $400 off the MyPillow mattress. It was $3, now it's up to $4. When you use the promo code KANE, 30% off the pet beds. You can also.
Swears by that.
Oh yeah, I knew she would. You can order by phone and use the promo code KANE and get all of these deals too. And here is the number. The number is listed at stevekaneshow.com if you miss it, but I'm going to give it to you right now. 1-800-716-4879. Again, you can use the promo code KANE. When you order by phone, spell it out for them, K-A-N-E. Call 1-800-716-4879. Okay, Elizabeth Warren, she's about to become the front runner. She's up in the polls. Tulsi Gabbard's attacking her. She's about to become the official front runner, and for a week, because she's such a fool. But she did this campaign event. I saw this on Twitter, and I could not believe this was real, but it was real. She pretended to call a supporter, and they on her cell phone, on their phone, and they were filming her. They have a split screen. Elizabeth Warren is, of course, on the left. She's always on the left, right? And her supporter, the most effeminate gay man you've ever heard, is on the right. He's at another location, acting as if he received this spontaneous call, even though there's a film crew there filming him, waiting for the call. And it is just so weird and bizarre. This is Elizabeth Warren.
Hello, Jonathan. It's Elizabeth Warren.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm having such a crazy day.
I know, but I wanted to give you a call just to say thank you. I'm glad we're going to be in this fight together, side by side. I love the endorsement.
Maybe he's a fake Indian too. The fight of the fake Indians against the establishment.
Maybe he's a fake.
Yeah, that too, maybe.
And for all the right reasons.
It doesn't sound like it though. I believe it.
Thank you so much. Well, I have to tell you, what I realized, it was when it was in the last debates, and it was like, health insurance industry is a racket.
It felt right.
It did.
And that's why we got to do it, because it is right. Healthcare is a basic human right, and we fight for basic human rights. Not just for some of us, for all of us.
I'm so excited to be shoulder to shoulder with you two. I can't believe you called.
Even though the film crew was here waiting for me to receive the call, I can't believe you actually called.
Let me know how I can be of service. I really want to help.
She's got her phone on.
Yeah.
You be strong.
Go save America. We gotta go, and also we gotta
go save.
Really gotta get that Mitch out of there, because regardless of what Mitch McConnell hates the worst of, we gotta take the Senate. We're gonna take Congress back. Well, we already have Congress. We gotta get the Senate back, and then we gotta get you to the White House. And we're just gonna sort everything out. So you go save America. I'm gonna go keep doing these interviews. I can't believe you took your time to talk to me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Milky dreams.
Okay, talk to you soon. Be strong.
Is that what he said?
I think so.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's the Pocahontas in chief.
Well, that's
POTUS,
not my vote.
the Pocahontas of the United States. Oh my goodness. I thought it was a spoof too. I don't know what she's trying to do with that. I have no idea.
Sure you do.
What? Get the gay vote?
The gay vote.
Really? She's trying to take.
Yes.
Doesn't Buttigieg have that locked up? I read an article the other day, one of the liberal rags. They were interviewing gay liberals, and they said, we're not going to vote for Mayor Pete just because he's gay. So, and you know, you're not seeing him too much anymore.
Where is he standing in the polls? I kind of lost track of him.
I don't know.
For a while, he was doing okay. He got a little bump there.
Yeah, yeah. All right, PJ, you're on the radio.
Oh, PJ.
Yeah, hey, Brian, I saw a friend of yours a couple of days ago in Margate.
Well, the only friend I have at Margate is Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Yes. Yes, Mike at Friendly Tire. That's absolutely great.
Right. By the way,
Yeah, he did mention, we were talking about that yesterday. I was just telling Steve this morning we were talking about that.
That's it?
Everybody gets a good deal at Friendly Tire.
remember that video I did over at Golden Corral of those people talking about Friendly Tire, and then there was Degenerate Jerry that called you a degenerate?
I remember it well.
Called me a degenerate, of all people. I don't know why would call me a degenerate. Steve, I can understand.
All the time, you know, because they seem to go there quite a bit to the Golden Corral. Go there because I you know me, I get everything for nothing almost. So I keep telling them how to go there real cheap, but they get free with me. I can tell because they don't want to do, you know, they're kind of like Steve with the internet. You gotta use the internet to get these deals. But the thing is one of the women there, Lydia. She actually has a pretty decent phone. The others are like flip phone people. But so I got your show on YouTube for her, and she did a double take. She goes, "Oh my God, that's Brian." I said, I never saw him before. So she's like, I don't know what I can't figure out that double take.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the call. We're going to be with PJ for 6 days on the Steve Kane cruise. He's coming with us. Yeah, he's coming with us.
And Dr. Lemansky's there.
Yeah, PJ's sitting next to you, though. I did the seating arrangement just yesterday. You're with PJ.
I thought it was with Dr. Lemansky.
No, you're with PJ and Richie the bus driver. No, you're not, Steve. I didn't do the seating arrangement. But no, I'm kidding. I love PJ. PJ's a good guy. You know, PJ, it is a funny thing, though, about radio, because in the old days, people didn't really know what you look like as much as they do now. So it's unusual to run against someone that doesn't know what you look like. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and when I used to, before I was in radio and I listened to it, you would always have these images of what people look like, and when you would meet them, nobody ever looked like what you thought. But now everybody knows what you look like. It takes the mystery out of radio. I don't,
exactly.
you know.
It takes not the mystery. It takes the imagination out. The imagination is the factor.
Yeah. Steve Kane Show.
Imagination is the thing that makes radio, and television, you don't need imagination.
Well, I briefly, before I knew you, I briefly worked at, WSHE 103.5 FM. Mm-hmm. I was not on the air, okay, and work, I don't know if you'd call what I did, I was basically loitering, but you know, but at the time I considered that I worked there. I was just basically loitering around the place. But it was in that trailer park, right? That dumpy trailer park. Remember Craig Worthing used to do a show in that building? And I was like shocked because 103.5 FM, she used to be, before the big companies destroyed it, was like this big powerhouse, she's only rock and roll. It was like the big thing, you know? And it was in this dumpy trailer park, and the studios were, what does Trump call those guys? An asshole. And I was in shock, and I was telling this guy there, I said, I cannot believe that she 103.5 is in this dump, and the building's a dump. It's in a dump. The studios are. He said, "This is radio, man. The studio is located wherever you make it sound like. We could be on top of a tower on the beach, but now you can't do that because everybody sees you. They know what you look like. I mean, first when you come in the morning, first thing people do is comment on your clothes, what you're wearing, or your hat. They comment on your hats a lot. I miss the days when, you know, people didn't know what we look like, and there was some mystery, you know, but not anymore.
You want to take this before?
Well, absolutely we want to take it because it's your estate planning attorney. It's Attorney Barry Siegel.
Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Barry, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're getting ready for a great, big weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I hope you have a great weekend and enjoy yourself and everybody else out there as well.
So what is happening at the Siegel Law Group? Sorry, I'm choking you. Oh, make sure everything's up to date. Okay, there you go.
So what is happening? One of the things that came out at the last workshop was one of the gentlemen who was also co-presenting was talking about his own family and his own parents being in a nursing home, and how because of the planning that was done ahead of time for his father, that was prepared in advance, setting up the right power of attorney, because he had too much income to qualify for the government benefits otherwise, the fact that the power of attorney was set up that allowed him to create the legal documents necessary to still qualify even though he had too much income, what that really turned out to be, it translated into the family saving $8,000 a month on the care.
$8,000 a month? Wow.
$8,000 a month. And imagine if he didn't know what to do, if they didn't do this planning ahead of time, and they were not able to get these government benefits to offset the cost, they'd be spending an additional $8,000 a month. That adds up very quickly. I mean, you know, we're talking about a person that was in a memory care facility, Alzheimer's, so people could still be in physically good shape and live a very long time, but they just still need this care. So 8,000 a month times 12 times number of years, that could be a small fortune, and that money can be used now to supplement the person's needs. So even if they're in a facility, that money can now be used to pay for extra care, to get a private nurse to come over and take care of just mom or just dad, so that you know, we know how these facilities sometimes there's way too many patients as far as the ratio with the nurses, and they push the button, and no one's coming for replacement time. So if we're able to get extra care for mom or dad, have a separate set of eyes just on them, they're getting better care and they're protecting their assets. So that's what we do, and that's why it's so important to plan ahead.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because it is important, and that's one of the reasons you've made it easy for Steve Kane listeners to find out what if they're covered, and find out the difference in the amounts of money can be fantastic. So you do not charge Steve Kane listeners for that first meeting. I'll give you the number so that people can get a hold of you. 1-855-FLA-3782. Call, make that appointment again. No charge for that for Steve Kane listeners. 1-855-FLA-3782. Have a great weekend, Barry, and we will speak to you next week. How's that?
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
You take care, my friend, and we are back.
No, we got to finish the break.
We're going to finish the break and return to you.
Hello, my name is Todd Shallett, Florida licensed and bonded public adjuster in the state of Florida. I work for Amerilos Incorporated. I'm the founder, and I've been working since 1993 as your public adjuster. Amerilos Incorporated has helped thousands
PJ's
of
calls are always about him.
millions of dollars
You notice that?
what
Always
their
about
insurance
him.
companies paid them. We offer a second opinion on your claim. If you suffer damage from Hurricane Matthew, Irma, or Michael, it's not too late to get a second opinion and get the money that you deserve to get your house back in shape again. I'm sure you'll agree that you want to work with someone that has experience in this industry. I've been doing this since 1993, and our service is very valuable, because if we don't get you any additional funds, there's no charge for what we do. Write this number down, 877-644-LOSS. That's 877-644-5677. If you had a loss, call Amerilos. One of our adjusters are standing by to make that valuable appointment with you. You deserve to get a second opinion. We work for you, not the insurance company. Call right now. 877-644-LOSS.
Boy, they've got some losers in the house, I'll tell you that. Our people as well.
This is Steve Kane with an exciting announcement from Tavolino's. Tavolino's is now open for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2:45. A gourmet menu includes including dishes like Nana's breakfast sandwich, candied bacon with avocado and aged cheddar cheese, and vine raven tomatoes will make your mouth water. Or how about the steak and eggs Benedict, filet mignon poached on an organic egg, toasted with English muffin, peppercorn sauce, hollandaise, and roasted potatoes will make your mouth water. Or try Delanote's chicken and waffles, crispy buttermilk chicken aged with cheddar cheese, Brussels sprouts, and candied bacon. It is a taste delight you will enjoy every weekend at Tavolino's. To make reservations, call Tavolino's for either the Saturday or Sunday brunch, 954-509-0046. You're going to love this restaurant, and tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh boy, all right, we're back. You caught me off guard there. You caught me off guard. I was answering our emails. Oh boy. No, I think the Democrats did major damage to themselves yesterday. It looked like what it was. The Ukrainian... Listen, this is the Ukrainian president.
I think good phone call. It was normal. We spoke about many things, and so I think, and you read it, that nobody pushed it.
No, nobody pushed it. He's not good with the English, but that's okay. We get it. Nothing happened. So I mean, he's the alleged victim, and he cleared Trump. That's all you need.
Well,
no victim, no crime.
It depends if it's followed by weeks of discussion about that email, the phony email that made it sound like Trump.
The transcript, but this is the guy this is the guy on the other end of the phone, and he said it didn't happen. So I mean, I don't know what.
Well, that's why I say it depends what the follow-up coverage is. If they straighten it out and they drive, I mean, and I just have no.
What is there? Once the guy says it didn't happen, the Ukrainian president, there's nothing to straighten out.
Oh, there is.
There's no victim.
Because they will, the Democrats will position that as, that he did it for his own selfish purposes because he was afraid. Of course, Trump was intimidated, or he was intimidated by Trump.
Please.
That's what people.
Well, that's hallucinating. That's writing things up like Schiff did in the. I mean, they got they got the alleged victim there, the entire media, and he was available to the entire media, and they don't want to talk to him because he's not telling them what they want to hear. Please, if there's no victim, there's no crime, right?
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
I mean, there's no crime.
I didn't like what I saw yesterday on television.
Other than Schiff with his fake transcript, what else did you not like?
Well, that's like saying, aside from that, how was the play last night, Mrs. Lincoln? I mean, that impression that the Democrats tended to,
well, they were just saying things, but they can say whatever they want to say. They got nothing. The Ukrainian president said it didn't happen. He's the victim. If the victim says it didn't happen, there's no... I was talking about this yesterday. If someone is accused of raping someone, right? Like Bill Clinton with Juanita Broderick. If Juanita Broderick, everyone's saying, oh, Bill Clinton raped Juanita Broderick. And then Juanita Broderick came out and said, I was not raped. Then you say, oh, case closed. That false allegation, she was the alleged victim. She says it didn't happen. Nothing happened. That's what happened here. The Ukrainian president is the alleged victim. He says it didn't happen. So that's it. Case closed.
Well, you don't believe that, do you?
What do you mean? Well, the Democrats can...
Is going to go away now?
Well, the Democrats
now
can...
That we've established that,
Yeah, but it looks like what it is. Because, they picked a bad time to do this. If the Ukrainian president was not in New York with the entire world at the UN...
Well, that wasn't a coincidence.
No, if he was over in the Ukraine, they wouldn't have been able to... we wouldn't have seen him on TV debunking it. It would have been like some written statement from his office. But he was right there at a press conference taking questions, and he says it didn't happen. That's it. That's it. I mean, for them to pursue it beyond that is insanity.
No, it's not insanity. It's what the Democrats do and what they've been doing up to this point fairly successfully.
What do you think they're doing? I think they're turning the public against them. I don't think that they're helping themselves.
I think it remains to be seen. I think we got to see what settles after public opinion settles after this round of trauma from yesterday's hearings. Then we'll get more of an idea.
Mhm.
Have you seen any of the polls or any?
The polls are all fake. The only poll I've seen is an accurate poll that through small individual donations, Donald Trump has raised $13 million in like 2 days. That's a poll. That's a real poll. That's what not some fake thing that Shepard Smith is going to read off the air that say 35% of Americans, I made up that number, but think this should be looked into. The Ukrainian president said it didn't happen.
The president is going to need a stouter defense than I saw yesterday.
He needs no defense. The Ukrainian president, who's the alleged victim, the person on the phone that was intimidated, apparently, is the allegation, says it did not happen. He doesn't need to defend himself. There's nothing to defend. The Ukrainian president was the star witness, and the press don't want to report that he said it didn't happen because it doesn't fit their agenda. No, they did terrible. They timed this operation against Trump was timed very poorly.
Well, I would like to get some feedback from our listeners to see who they agree with here, whether they think Trump is home free or whether the odds have...
Well, they're always going to harass him.
Well, the question is not what they're going to do. The question is how effective it's going to be. And when things settle, it's just like each round of primaries they have, there's a new front runner here. People look to see what the reaction is to what's going on. And
Yeah.
I just don't. I got to see a little more encouraging stuff.
You're not going to find it on cable news because they hate Trump, except the primetime lineup at Fox. Other than those 3 hours, I mean, I was watching Martha McCallum.
Also, the Saturdays, Sunday mornings. The morning
Yeah, there's some scattered support, but I was watching Martha McCallum with Laura Trump the other night, and she's talking, well, why did the president do this? And say she wasn't even talking about Biden. She's another never Trumper. Okay, they hate Trump on Fox, so you're not going to find what you're looking for there. Steve Kane
My
Show.
number 1-888-GO-KANE.
What's your name?
Kane, spelled K-A-N-E. 1-888.
Yeah.
Go Kane 1. What is your feeling about what you're seeing? Are you encouraged after what happened yesterday? Or are you apprehensive, as I seem to be?
Mm-hmm.
You want to take this call?
All right, let's talk to Glenn. You're on the air.
You're up.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm encouraged or anything else. What I see is they're going to impeach him, in my mind, no matter what. Doesn't matter what proof he comes up with and what's said. But when it gets to the Senate for trial, I think it's going to be laughed out of the Senate. And Barr is going to come out with his indictment of whatever he does. I think the way the news cycles go now, it's going to basically die.
That's the big
because
thing.
of whatever news is going to come out later in the Barr investigation.
You bring up a very interesting point. It's one thing as you look at what happened yesterday and the effects of it as an entity unto itself, and then if you look at it on the other hand in terms of where the focus is going to be when the indictments start coming, and I'm fairly well convinced at this point there are going to be indictments, that's going to shake everything up. In fact, I think a lot of this, the more I think about it, I think a lot of this is timed to lessen the impact of the indictments, which seem to be imminent. I don't know. Of course, they seem to be imminent for the last 6 months. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, just like with Clinton, I've been a conservative since I've been young, and watching that, it looked very petty. So yes, the Republicans got their way, they impeached him, they couldn't get him out in the trial, but it made the Republicans look bad. Same here is that most Americans that don't pay attention like you or I do, they're going to literally see something that says, okay, Trump talked to this guy, they saw the transcript, well, they didn't really say anything bad, and that's it. Then they're on with their days. They don't really think of it like we do, and I think it's just going to stay about the same. Maybe some people will say, oh, he must have done something bad. But when it all plays out, and then Barr, after his investigation, with news going so fast, I can't see that this is going to last a year.
Let me ask you a question.
I just can't.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's going to be an immediate effect when to change the news cycle when indictments are announced, and we're assuming that, first of all, do you believe there will be indictments?
Oh, of course I think there will be. But I think Trump's gone through that how many times? He goes through the immediate effect of the Russia investigation, goes through immediate effect of the Kavanaugh issue, and then the Democrats overplay their hand. They go to, it's the same story. I've watched this story over and over again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. There are definitely similarities between the first job that they tried to do on Trump that involved...
Well, also think about, they're going to find out, because I wholeheartly believe that this is the deep state. This is some CIA agent through, I mean, this to me reads, I mean, if you read the whistleblower's complaint, it reads just like the Steele dossier. He literally used articles from newspapers to prove his point against Trump. It's literally like a hack job. Well, most Americans won't look at it that way. They'll look at it, you know, they'll listen to what the news says. Nobody watches CNN and MSNBC anymore because that's not where they're getting their news. Most Americans are on your regular CBS, NBC, and ABC channels. Yeah, maybe some more people would be skewed the other way, but when it all pans out, Barr's done with his investigations. If he's indicting anybody with a big name, like a James Comey or a Brennan, that's going to overtake this.
From your lips to God's ears. Gotta run. Let's take our break. We'll be back shortly after this with the Gold Report and William Youngerman. We'll return shortly.
People put off the medical care they need for a lot of reasons. My deductible is too high. I don't have insurance. My schedule is too hectic. I just can't afford it. The time for excuses is over. Thanks to Any Lab Test Now of Plantation, where they guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. PSA, only $34. Full cholesterol lipid panel, $28. Complete thyroid panel, $49. Diabetic A1C test, only $27. No doctor's order or prescription needed. All testing is always anonymous and confidential. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Most results in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to ask about their allergy testing, which includes micronutrient and environmental allergies, and vitamin deficiency test, drug testing, you name it. Any Lab Test Now with Plantation, probably test for it. Any Lab Test Now with Plantation is located at 8367 West Sunrise Boulevard in the Jacaranda Plaza on the corner of University Drive and Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. Give them a call, 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. Online, labtestingplantation.com. Take control of your health with Any Lab Test Now of Plantation. 954-916-1072.
Right now, the U.S. is in the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic. In South Florida alone, someone suffers an overdose.
I've been up since 1:30 in the morning.
Either from heroin,
the dog woke
or
me
some
up, and
other prescription medication that's as close as the family medicine cabinet. In fact, mom and dad's
the dog. And I had to go to the bathroom.
frequently the gateway to
The dog woke me up to go outside and go to the bathroom. She had to pee.
Drug problems left unattended are only going to get worse. This is not something you can do on your own. You need expert.
She's very well
professional
housebroken.
help. And if your family is disintegrating in front of your eyes and you feel helpless, I'm here to tell you that help is available. Call my good friend Sal at the Edge Recovery, 561 area code 523-4325. This is his personal cell phone, 561-523-4325. If your loved one refuses treatment, the Edge Recovery will conduct an intervention and get them into the treatment plan that they need. The Edge Recovery offers every option, from intervention to 30-day rehab to sober living to counseling with a licensed therapist, as well as group therapy treatment. It's covered by most insurance, but no matter what your situation is, the Edge Recovery has options for you. Call
I got this, found this I hate Starbucks, but I found this coffee at Starbucks.
523-4325. Again, that's Sal's personal cell phone, 561-523-4325.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, the moment you've all waited for, the Gold Report. Each day at this time, we are privileged to find out what is going on in the world of precious metals from a man who knows, a man who is considered one of the top experts in the world on gold, silver, and the other metals. William Youngerman, advising clients on trends and movements in the gold markets for 52 years. And boy, I got to tell you, things have been exciting lately. Jim, what's cooking today? Excuse me, William, what's cooking today?
Gold under pressure again, Steve, as it failed to break out after trading up towards that $1,535 number this week, and then dropping back yesterday another $9 to getting back down yesterday, testing the $1,500 number, and then closing up just 30 cents at 15.0430. Silver again breaking the $18 number that we were hoping was going to be support for silver. Now it closed down yesterday 10 cents to 17.78. Platinum was up $3 yesterday at 9.28, and palladium was up $22 at 16.48. The strong U.S. dollar
Steve Kane Show
continues to keep a lid on the gold price, Steve, with the U.S. dollar index over 99. That's pretty close to the highest we've seen on the U.S. dollar, making everything coming into this country more expensive, and just by virtue of the expensive U.S. dollar, including gold. So the gold today down another $9, breaking through the $1,500, what was trying to be support for gold, has broke down through that right now at $14.95.30. It'd be important to see if it closes above the $1,500 today. But as for now, we've got gold down to $14.95.30. We did see $14.89 earlier this morning. That being said, the strongest support for gold still lies at the $14.85, which we saw it bounce off several times over the last couple of weeks and built quite a base there. That being said, gold's down $9 right now at $14.95.30. Silver down 25 cents at $17.53. Platinum down $6 at $9.22, and palladium down $4 at $15.44. That's pretty much where we're at. The strength of the U.S. dollar is still, as I said, keeping a lid on this gold price from really breaking out to new highs. But whether the country or the government wants the dollar to remain this strong remains to be seen, but it certainly is going to hurt us in the long term, and it could actually push us into a recession.
Well, that's a nice note to end the weekend on. But it's a good time to buy now. It is a buyer's market, a chance to drop by William Youngerman. And by the way, you buy gold as well as sell it. Tell them a little bit about that.
Yes, indeed. For over 50 years, Steve, we've been maintaining a good two-way market. As a P&G dealer for over 35 years, Professional Numismatist Guild, and as well as a accredited precious metals dealer, we have a guarantee that we not only buy everything, we not only sell at the best price we can, but we give it a guarantee that everything is genuine and that we buy it back at whatever the current market is when you're ready to sell. So it's a good two-way market we've made in all precious metals, rare coins, currencies, and collectibles, as well as watches, jewelry, estate jewelry, or anything made out of the precious metals. You bring it in, we give you a free appraisal, especially just to mention you're a Steve Kane listener, and we'll pay you top dollar in cash if you decide to sell it.
Absolutely. Well, today, William Youngerman, if you're local, you can just drop into the home office here at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank of America building. You'll find William on the first floor, directly across from the bank. You can reach in by phone at 1-800 toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, or go to the website at williamyoungerman.com. William, have a great weekend, and we will speak on Monday, all right?
Okay, have a nice one to you.
You take care.
You know, before we go back to the calls, did you see this story about the urinals?
Not really.
The city of Portland have banned urinals in their remodeled Portland building. And, because they want gender neutral. So in the men's room, no more urinals. Urinals are sexist. They're for one gender. Women cannot use urinals.
Only in Portland.
Only in Portland. I got to tell you, that is bizarre. Someone in my family bought a house, and the house has a urinal in the one of the bathrooms.
Urinal?
And they bought the house, and it had the urinal in it. And I thought that was the strangest thing I've ever seen. It's next to it's like in the guest bath, but the one like in the hallway. There's a regular toilet, but there's a urinal in there too, and that's how they bought the house. And I thought it was very odd.
Do you remember when we had a sponsor long time ago.
Mr. Bidet?
Yes, you do. You were with me then.
Yeah, Mr. Bidet.
And they put one of those things in my house, and they're kind of nifty. And once you get used to them, it's a little strange. Makes you feel like a Frenchman.
Well, no, I don't know.
I wonder if Mr. Bidet is still around.
I think about Mr. Bidet sometimes because my daughter was just when we had Mr. Bidet was a sponsor, and what Mr. Bidet is he would take you wouldn't have to get a bidet installed. He could turn your regular toilet into a bidet, and my daughter was just getting potty trained at that time. That's why I remember it so well. And it helped with the potty training because because you push a little button, you get the water squirting up in there, you know.
You take a bath while you're.
Yeah, and then, I miss it because I don't have it anymore because it was in my condo when we moved and we bought our house and we didn't. Then the bidet is still in the condo.
I have a blank spot in my memory there. I'm trying to remember what the ultimate end of the bidet was. I know we don't have it now and we had it then, but.
I'll tell you off the air.
You remember?
I remember everything.
I wonder if that's good or bad.
No, it's nothing bad. Let's see, Mr. Bidet.
You're looking to see.
I'm looking at. I don't know if it's the same guy. No, this is somebody else's Mr. Bidet somewhere. There's a lot of Mr. Bidets.
Yeah, well, around the world, it's not.
I know what a bidet. No.
It's considered unusual in this country, but around the world, it's very popular.
No. I'm not talking about bidets. I'm talking about Mr. Bidet.
You're talking about
the guy. Yeah, he called himself Mr. Bidet.
Yes.
That was his name.
That was his.
And I don't know what happened to Mr. Bidet because I'm finding some stuff online, but it's all very old, over 10 years old.
Really?
So I don't know if he's still with us or if he's at the big bidet in the sky. I don't know. I don't know. What made you think of a bidet?
I don't know.
We got to go to the bathroom or something?
No. Trying to think what brought it to
I don't know why you're thinking of bidet. Oh, because I brought up the urinal.
Oh.
So they're banning urinals in the Portland public buildings because they're gender specific. Urinals are gender.
What happens to these people out there? Is it something in the water?
One time, one time so when I was in college at Florida Atlantic University, I'd been in class for 3 hours. I'd had like 3 bottles of water. I leave the classroom. I run into the bathroom, and I go and I went into a stall, you know.
I can imagine you.
And I left the stall. I come out of the stall, and there was a woman brushing her hair in the mirror, and I realized I was in the ladies' room. I had to go so bad I didn't, and she freaked out. Started screaming, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said I did not know this was the ladies' room, and she said, "Oh, it's okay." She calmed down, and I said, "I wondered why there wasn't a urinal when I came in." I said to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, well that's why, because you're in the ladies' room, you know." Yeah, but that's a sure sell that you're in the ladies' room, that there's no urinal.
Definitely.
But this gender neutral thing has gotten stupid.
It's not gotten stupid. It's been stupid.
It's as beyond. It's getting worse all the time, though. Urinals are too gender specific now.
I gotta tell you, we gotta get this country settled down. We got a year of this before the election. Can you believe it?
Oh yeah. Then we'll have 4 more years of Trump. 4 more years of Trump after that.
Yeah. Well, then that's when things will settle down. Maybe. That does it for today. We thank you for joining us. Come back Monday. We will be here again starting at 6 a.m. Until then, on behalf of Brian, I'm Steve. God bless America.
Yeah, Mr. Bidet. All right, guys on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, all right?